put the community's long-term savings to work. Who are we? We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties.
FoundationHOC.org.
We're your community foundation.
Working to build a vibrant region.
Opportunity for all.
Mohawk Valley FCU wants to help you save money right now. They're extending their swap and drop auto loan promotion through the end of January 2023. Bring your car loan to Mohawk Valley FCU and they'll drop your rate up to 2% off your current rate for the remainder of the loan. That's up to 2% off your auto loan with locations on River Road in Marcy, in the state office building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you will receive the best service no matter where you are. Member focused, member driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text safeguard to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, Davies all dismal today. Syracuse. Well, listen, they played a good game. They just didn't come out on top. What are you going to do? Good morning. It is, and then what? I've never seen anything so weird as last night with point after attempts.
Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, you might see Jerry Jones go after a new kicker like this week.
Yeah, it would be typical Cowboys. You know,
their
offense looked so good. Couldn't get the kicker to make his kicks, and then they go sign somebody who, I don't know, do you trust him in a divisional playoff game, a chance to go to the championship round?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can trust this guy, though.
This guy missed 4 extra points, which are in the NFL are pretty much a given, right?
Yeah, they certainly made them longer than they used to be, but he pushed the first 2 to the right. The third one he hooked and then hit one off the top of the far right upright on the fourth one. It was unbelievable.
Well, at one point they had a chance for a field goal and they decided not to go for it.
That's just, You know, is that one of those situations like Chuck Knobloch can't throw from second to first?
I don't know.
Just
weird, right?
Done it so many times. It's so easy. I've thought about it, and now I'm out of rhythm, and now I just can't do it at all. It's just unbelievable.
Okay, so we have a ton to get to here this morning on a Tuesday, and a bit of a crispy start to the day. A frosty start, if you will. Latest on the Biden classified documents. We'll get to Ryan Schmelz on that later on this morning. Dr. Kent Hall is on this morning. Frank DeBrango is running for mayor. He's a Utica councilman and will be running in the on the Democratic line. And the primary facing Celeste Friend. We'll speak with Frank DeBrango in studio later on this morning. And much more to get into. There's also a guy by the name of Paul Hadis, who's a local resident, lives near the proposed Stewarts on Genesee Street, has a very strong opinion on Stewarts going in over there on at the old Raspberries. And it's something that Celeste Friend is definitely against. She's not hedging her bet anymore on this.
So when I talked to Mr. Hadis, what he said was he represents a lot of citizens. He lives near there, and he's either signed or been involved in the signing of a petition. But I said, when you come in, I don't even want to know at this point, right?
We don't know if he's for it or if he's against it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear from a local resident there.
Yeah,
who
I
lives
agree.
Nearby. And he could be for it, he could be against it. I'm not even sure.
I love that because, oftentimes there will be those that will say, wow, you just push your own agenda. And yes, that's absolutely true. I prefer things that are interesting. That's our agenda. And if you're on one side of it or the other, I'm okay with it. I don't care. I would be interested, though, to see, is there a resident over there? Are there residents over there that are for it? Are there residents over there that are against it? And what's the reasoning? I think we'll learn that this morning in the 8 o'clock hour. I'm looking forward to it.
I also thought it was interesting, too. Didn't somebody bring up the tree situation? Was that you who brought that up yesterday, or was that a listener?
A listener because apparently there are, Celeste Friend has talked about how there are mature trees over there that will be taken down, which is just terrible. Yeah. Well, a lot of people, think about your own yard. If you were to lose a certain tree, it would change the entire look of your backyard.
Well, I will tell you this. I wish my neighbor, a couple properties down, and she's a great neighbor, very nice lady. But by chance, I'm just hoping
Is
a windstorm.
she the one you call Old Biddy?
No, that's not true.
Not her.
I wish they would. I wish a windstorm would pull down 2 of her pines because for the 4th, the way maybe New Hartford or New York Mills or maybe even Utica or some areas south do the fireworks, I could see like 3 different communities' fireworks, if only for these trees.
If they were gone.
Yeah.
Are they big pines?
They're huge pines.
Yeah, you never know. Be careful. You could be wishing them to come down. They come right down on her house.
Well, no, I certainly don't
terrible.
want that. But, boy, it would really open up the view, at least for the 4th.
Even if her house were gone. I mean, that would change everything. Terrible story in Syracuse. This 11-year-old girl,
I know, it's terrible,
shot and killed in a drive-by shooting. She ends up being hit with a stray bullet and rushed to the hospital along with an 18-year-old. The 18-year-old survives. She died of her injuries.
And I believe the 18 or 19-year-old was the target of the shooting, or at least the person was trying to hit him. And she gets hit by a stray bullet. It's terrible. An 11-year-old girl on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If I'm not mistaken, were they on Martin Luther King Jr.
Boulevard? I think that was the story. Yeah, boy.
It's just unbelievable.
Here's New York State Police are looking for help in finding a missing 30-year-old man from Jefferson County, according to police. Tyler Marohan, I believe is how it's pronounced, was last seen January 3rd leaving a home on Champion Street in West Carthage. Marohan is 5 feet 9 inches tall, 160 pounds, with brown hair, blue eyes. He has acquaintances in both Jefferson and Lewis counties, but has been missing since January 3rd. Police are asking for your help. as you head up into the North Country. And then an update on another person who was missing. New York State Police in Salisbury say they have found Jan L. Dagger, 58-year-old, in Herkimer County, near his home, about a mile away from his home in a wooded area. His death appeared to be the result of natural causes, according to a news release. They were looking for him. It was reported missing from his home on Heller Road in Salisbury, according to a news release from police earlier in the weekend. Did not have a cell phone with him, and now police say they have found him, and he is deceased. No foul play is expected there, or is being looked at. It looks like he died of natural causes. Yeah. Let's see what else here today. Oh, if as long as we're going down this road, home run king Frank Thomas, former New York Met, former original New York Met, has died at the age of 93 years old.
I was like, what are you talking about? Frank Thomas. He was a Chicago White Sox. Yes, the original Frank Thomas.
He played for the original New York Mets in 1962. Spent 3 seasons playing for New York and then moved on. Died at the age of 93 years old. Something you don't hear a lot of in the same sentence, New York Mets and home run king. Although we were good at getting rid of home run kings, right? The Mets, especially in those early years, they lost Frank Thomas and wasn't it Hank Aaron they had early on?
I don't know. I don't know that. And
I
thought Frank Thomas was like almost a lifelong Met. No?
I don't believe so. You have to look that up. I think he played only 3 seasons for the Mets. What else do we
he
do?
Came back as a coach for a long time.
So the game last night, the playoffs are all set up. The Buffalo Bills will play on Sunday afternoon, right? Is that the game for the Bills?
3:00 game. Yeah.
What an odd close to the NFL season. So many unique, weird things have happened. Like I think that was a record last night for 4 missed extra points, right?
Oh, it has to be. Yeah. As a matter of fact, somebody messaged me during the game and said, "Can you imagine? Have you ever seen a guy miss 3 extra points?" And I said, text back later, "Yeah, have you ever seen someone do 4? I believe that is an NFL record." And I almost, again, I just felt bad for him because he's got that lost look on his face. He doesn't know how to fix it, and it's something he's made a career doing.
And you don't think once your head gets into it, and you're second guessing yourself, I think that's where things can get very, very ugly.
Chuck Knobloch, whoop, can't throw to first base.
The weirdest thing, and it's something
he's 15 feet away.
They can do with their eyes closed on a normal day. In Buffalo, the Bills are giving Super Bowl tickets to, whether they go or not, Super Bowl tickets to the man who saved the lives of over 20 people during the snowstorm that hit Western New York back in December. Awarded 2 Super Bowl tickets by the Bills for his quick thinking and bravery. Jay Withy broke into a school and helped others stranded in the storm get shelter. Normally, breaking into a school would be a problem, but he knew this was the only way they would be able to save these people. 20 people held out in the school during the storm. Here he is being surprised with the Super Bowl tickets. Here we go.
On behalf of the Highmark, Blue Cross and Blue Shield and the Buffalo Bills, we wanted to surprise you today.
2 tickets to the Super Bowl. We love you. We know what you did on Christmas Eve was very heroic, and you're our hero. And the Bills and Highmark want to present you with these tickets to go watch the Super Bowl.
Hopefully, it'll be a Super Bowl that will include the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that would
but
be
nobody
great.
knows right now.
Can I just say, though, he saved 20 lives. Can we get him a 4-pack? I hope. Does the guy have kids? Is our kids allowed to go to the game?
I know.
We got you.
We got you a ticket.
2
You're going to have to
tickets.
leave everybody home, but
Yes.
we have a ticket for you.
You have 2 tickets, 1 airplane ticket, and a hotel stay with 1 bed, or a hotel room with just 1 bed.
By the way, we were just talking about the kicker from the Cowboys and how you could see Jerry Jones saying, "That's it, get him out of here. I don't want him back." But it was Troy Aikman who knows how Jones acts, right? I mean, he knows Jones's MO. This is what he had to say during the game last night.
And now the drama of Brett Maher trying to hit an extra point. He's missed 3 tonight, 4 in a row. And he has done it again.
They might be looking for a kicker next week.
And this is a 24-0 game. That is 4 missed extra points tonight. And you just feel horrible for him.
Aikman, they might be looking for a kicker next week.
Who could blame him? It's just so difficult at this time of year. You're going to trust somebody who's not been on the team in a playoff situation. But conversely, I don't know how you trust this guy. So,
a woman delivered to a funeral home in Iowa ended up actually being alive. Here's the 911 dispatcher reacting to the woman at the funeral home and the fact that, yes, she's still alive.
Just so you know, this female was transported there deceased, and she is not. They are in the chapel, and she is on a cot.
The woman began being treated by emergency responders at the funeral home and was then transported to the hospital. Her condition is currently unknown. And I don't know how you'd feel if you're riding in an airplane 10,000 feet in the air and all of a sudden a passenger gets up and announces this.
My name is Mariah, and I love Jesus. He recently saved me. I just want you to know from a former witch, we are all collectively landing in Las Vegas, Sin City. I would like you guys to understand that a lot of things are going on in the spiritual realm at this time of the year. I want you to know that Jesus loves you, and he cares for you, and he can help you with whatever you're going through. Jesus, I pray over these people, and I pray that you would make yourself real. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Well, that's a terrible way to head off and begin your gambling
Pull
experience.
this plane over. I want to get off.
She is no longer a witch, and she has now found Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay.
She has been saved.
Good for her. Good for her.
And, you know, it's funny how the airline staff just were like, all right, we're just going to let her go. We're not going to stop her. We're not going to fight with her. We're not going to duct tape her to her seat. We're just going to let her go and see where this goes.
What is the line on being allowed to take over the intercom system? So it's like religious is apparently on the safe side.
Do you think did it sound like she was on an intercom? I'm not quite sure that she was on the intercom.
Oh, maybe she wasn't.
I think she was just stood up and began announcing it to those on the airplane.
Don't get on there and start preaching, though, because someone will sue you for fat shaming.
That's
you
a
should
good
eat
point.
healthier this year. Please stay off the trans fats. Oh, my gosh, I feel terrible. How could you say that?
And I think that there is some talk about fat shaming. What is that story about? So basically, after New Year's, and if you watch TV, I mean, everything is a fitness commercial or a weight loss commercial right now.
So somebody's raising the question. There was essentially a company came up with a fitness challenge for 2023, and there's some question as to whether or not that's fat shaming. Motivating to some, even the idea of discussing the programs and their message can aggravate employees who say that companies shouldn't monitor their workers' weight and make notes about it.
Wouldn't it be a positive that your company is concerned about your health and your well-being? Isn't that a...
Well, that's the thought. But again, you can't say...
But if you don't...
Bill, we're entering a zone where it's taboo to say being obese is bad for your health because that's considered to be fat shaming. We're supposed to, pretend... I'm no different. I'm overweight just as much, if not so more, than anybody else, okay? So I'm not preaching here. I'm not offended when someone says, we're going to do a fitness competition. Do you want to be in it? First of all, the question shouldn't even be offensive.
You would be offended if they came to you and said, wow, you've gotten fat.
I don't think that's appropriate to say that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying that to you, by the way.
I don't get upset. I've literally thanked people, even though I'm still a smoker. Someone will say to me, it's none of my business, and I know people get upset sometimes, but really you ought to think about quitting smoking. I appreciate that. Right? How dare you say such an awful thing to me?
However, I do think that it does get annoying after a while.
It does a little bit. So, look, in one case, and again, I'm not saying that this is all fair game, but just the idea of having one of these should not be offensive to people. And I'm talking about a fitness or health competition or weight loss competition. Here we go. One of the notes from a working place, somebody sent this in an email to fellow coworkers. This holiday, the only thing that should be stuffed is the turkey. I mean, are you going to bleep that out? Are we going to let that go over the air that way?
I think that's ridiculous. Right?
How is that offensive?
Correct.
Okay.
Going a little over the top.
Yeah.
Here's a question for somebody who is a hunter, and maybe, Davey, you know the answer to this. Are you a hunter, Davey? Have you ever hunted in your life?
Heck no.
Okay. He almost looks a little bit like Boeheim when he does that. Have you noticed during the press conference? There's a little Boeheim in him. Like when somebody asks a question, do you think that you're going in the wrong direction this year? They can't seem to score. And then Boeheim would say,
heck no.
Yeah. If you only could see his face.
I've never hunted in my life.
You've never hunted in your life, so you have no idea. Well, maybe you know the answer to this question. Yesterday afternoon, in the middle of the day, I look out in my backyard, and what do I see but a giant deer? And it's just eating the grass, it's eating the weeds and that sort of thing. Yesterday, during the daytime, probably in the afternoon. And then I watched the deer move on to some other weeds. And it was limping.
Oh.
A limping, it seemed like an injured deer.
Maybe it got hit by a car.
Could be. It seemed alive and well, just probably looked like a dangling leg. Like it had a broken leg.
Where's Christine when you need her?
You're right. She'd have been out there.
That thing would be napping on her couch with a blanket over it right now.
She'd have a cast on the deer already. Well, we did, my son was going to try to get out there near it, and I'm like, the minute you open the door, the thing's going to be gone.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it hobbled away, but still stayed in the neighborhood. I saw it a couple more times during the day, kind of hiding and staying out of the way. What do you do with a deer that has a broken leg? I mean, should the deer, if that happens to a horse, you know what happens? I got to shoot and kill the horse. I saw it on Yellowstone.
It's a good question. So I don't know.
So if you have you spot a deer, the deer is it didn't seem to be noticeably injured, like the head. There was no blood anywhere or anything like that. It seemed to be doing quite well, except it had, I think, a broken leg or at least a lame leg. It was walking kind of. It was walking and struggling walking and struggling running away.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do?
Send your child out after it.
If you have any idea, 315-736-0186. What do you do? Yesterday you were talking about the commercial with Tony Romo recreating the classic Caddyshack scene for the beer commercial over wild card or super wild card playoff weekend. I don't know what that's all about. You may have seen the new commercial featuring Tony Romo recreating a classic scene from Caddyshack. Here he is doing his best Carl Spackler and taking his landscaping tool to the flowers outside of his clubhouse.
The crowd is deadly silent. Young Cinderella story happening right in front of our eyes. Former quarterback about to become tournament champion.
This February, Michelob Ultra is taking over the big game. Order Ultra now.
I thought that was pretty darn good.
So did I. Just hearing the audio, I was less impressed, but seeing him do the...
He's got the facial expression and all that kind of helps with
He really does look the part. Good for him. And I'm even giving props to a former Cowboys quarterback.
Yeah.
It's true.
Two others use Kenny Loggins' theme music, I'm All Right. One features women's soccer star Alex Morgan pouring a beer from a golf bag tap, much like Rodney Dangerfield did in the movie.
Yeah, she is all right, by the way. So, here's the best part. I think the commercial's great. I think Alex Morgan's beautiful. What are they promoting?
That was a beer commercial. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a beer for Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Paris Hilton is appearing in a new promo for next year's Olympic Games in Paris. They run a montage of sports clips until Paris realizes the obvious, and here it is.
Like summer,
The eyes of the world will be on
Paris. Oh, the other Paris.
I guess the dumb blonde thing doesn't get old, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's not Paris Hilton they're focusing on. It, of course, is Paris, France. Okay. Never once in a minute did I think they were talking about Paris Hilton.
Completely agree.
6:42, quick break. We'll come right back. It's Tuesday morning. And in a few minutes, we'll speak with Ryan Schmelz on the latest on the Biden classified documents. Where do we stand on all of that? Coming right up at WIBX.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest-rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get ready for war. CNY Wing Wars is back for its 6th year on Saturday, February 4th. Brought to you by the Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation. Come enjoy the spoils of the most delicious war in history at the Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro. Participants include Ray Brothers Barbecue, Pizza Boys, Hot Off the Brick, Killabrew, Fratello's, Tony's of New Hartford, Utica Barbecue, Pizzeria Italia, Piggy Pats, Knuckleheads, Celtic Harp, and Lukins. Let your voices be heard by voting for your favorites in Best Wing and Most Unique categories. Featuring a panel of special guest judges, including yours truly, Will Phillips from WOUR. Admission is $30 and includes a slice of pizza, wing sampling, and 1 free beer or soda. Tickets are extremely limited and will sell out, so don't drag your feet. 100% of the proceeds will assist cancer patients in Oneida and surrounding counties. Grab your tickets now through thejmcf.org or by calling 315-339-5993. Don't miss the 6th annual CNY Wing Wars.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
A couple things while we were in the city looking for some groceries for my daughter.
Yeah.
I could not believe how much groceries are in New York City right now. Like $10 for a jar of peanut butter. I mean, it's unbelievable. You think we're paying high prices here? It's unbelievable there.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah. What were eggs down there? Did you look at any eggs?
$60 for, I don't know. The eggs are I didn't look at the eggs. But up here, I mean, you're paying $10, $8, $6 for a dozen eggs up here.
Yeah.
crazy.
I think Ben Simons, when we talked to him, gave a little, what do I want to say here? A little life hack, if you will, where he said, the jumbo eggs are outrageously priced.
Get the mediums.
Buy the medium; they're a little bit smaller, and they're like a third of the price.
That was Joe Lode's tip for you. Mike,
was
this morning,
Joe Lode's tip. Sorry.
I think another imitation that Tony Romo can do is Chatty Cathy. He constantly talks throughout the game.
Tony Romo?
Which is true.
Well, he's a broadcaster.
He is. He's a talker, though.
I mean, I sit here and talk all morning during this show.
To be honest with you, I do kind of enjoy his predictions. Oftentimes, he'll call the play before it actually happens.
Yeah.
Ryan Schmelz on the line right now with Fox News. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm happy you guys were able to make it through the game this weekend. That was a tough
Wow. Right? I mean, there were points where I'm like, are we going to go down to the Dolphins in wild card weekend?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt like it.
Yeah, it was. You can never doubt a division rival. That's for sure. I think that was kind of the takeaway I had from that game.
Yeah, I have heard those that are like, I have no faith now in the Bills whatsoever. Well, I hate to say it, but any team this year, I think, could beat any other team. I mean, it could happen.
Oh yeah. You're going to have a lot of Chiefs fans thinking they're unstoppable after that, especially with the Bengals looking a little shaky too. So
yep, I agree.
They're going to be thinking Super Bowl right now, but they might get caught off guard too.
Who knows? It could. It absolutely could happen. So.
I'll tell you what, though. Some people who turned on that game and saw in the fourth quarter it was 24-20 Miami. They were more shocked to see that than the lawyer who opened up the cabinet next to Joe Biden's Corvette there. They were like, what is going on here?
Have we changed the date on when they found it? Because initially it was like just before the midterms. Now it may be like a week before the midterms. Has the date changed or have we stayed consistent?
It was a week before, right?
I believe we're still staying consistent with the initial date of the first batch of documents being found. But obviously now we have another batch of documents found over the weekend. So we kind of keep learning more and more about this as time goes on.
Yeah. Do we know that all of these documents are from when Joe Biden was vice president? Or could some of these documents be also sometime over the last couple of years?
I don't know if we know that fully right now. There's still a lot of questions out there that need to be answered, but from what we understand, we believe that these documents were from when he was vice president. But, the next steps here we're kind of seeing is that the chairman of the House Oversight Committee was trying to find out or at least get a records log of people who visited that Delaware home. But it looks like, based off of what Fox News has been reporting, is that there is no visitor log of President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home.
Yeah, like Secret Service does keep a log, but they don't keep it. That doesn't make any sense. It's like it's destroyed. We'll always protect the president. Does that go back to the days of like JFK when they didn't want anybody to know that Marilyn Monroe was snuck into the private residence? I don't know.
Well, I'm not quite sure on that. I mean, I do know that what kind of their justification was. It's his personal residence. He's keeping it personal. And then the administration has kind of also pointed out that former President Trump did not even keep a White House log when he was president. That's one thing that the Biden administration did bring back was a log of visitors to the White House. But a lot of the dates that they were requesting, kind of involve, when he was still a private citizen.
Right.
Does that really, apply? It's his personal property. He's allowed to keep that personal. That was kind of the justification that his legal team is using.
I am a little bit sick of hearing but look what Trump did. But at the same time, on the other side, the Republicans are saying, look what Biden did. I just feel like in both cases, we're dealing with classified documents that are not protected. We have a problem. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, we have a problem here.
Yeah, and I think some people have even asked that question too. Like press briefings and other places like that, kind of saying, well, is there a severe information about, or is there a severe issue here about the classification of documents process and the nation's secrets being kept? Because now we're talking about the last two presidents potentially facing allegations of mishandling classified information. And then, yes, those are questions kind of being asked here is is this something that the United States needs to look into as a whole? Is something Congress or the executive needs to look into as a whole? How are we handling classified information, and is this necessarily safe what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
The former FBI agent Peter Strzok, whatever his name is, he was doing the rounds yesterday, and I couldn't believe this. I had to laugh. He seems to be trying to excuse some things away. Some Democrats are being very tough on Biden, and then others are kind of like, it's no big deal. He said yesterday, I couldn't believe it, that the FBI must have been going nuts. He goes, listen, sensitive information, classified documents are mishandled in this country every single day.
Yeah, I think that's a bad argument.
Are you kidding? That's your argument?
Yeah.
It just blew my mind.
Right. And we haven't really heard too many, statements being said from leadership within the Democratic side. And obviously they're going to be having their weekly press conferences likely this week, and they're going to be handling the debt ceiling potentially, with that deadline potentially happening Thursday. And, I'm sure they want to stay focused on those issues and stay focused on legislation, but it's inevitable. They're going to be getting asked questions about this at the weekly press conferences all week long. And that's just something they're going to have to deal with for now.
Yeah, I agree. Do you find it odd that Biden, who is not often put in front of reporters, that the other day they put, because there's a deep state scenario being tossed around out there, that the deep state doesn't want Biden to announce that he's running for president. They want somebody else in there because clearly Biden cannot run for president again. So they get Biden out in front of reporters, which is rare on its own, and the story of more documents being found breaks while Biden is answering questions. I thought that was a little bit odd or coincidental, or am I going down the rabbit hole?
Good question. I'm trying to figure out what specific incident this was when he was taking questions. Or was this back when he was in Mexico City, or was this recently when he was giving a speech at the White House?
Boy, I don't remember. But it was last week. It was last week when the second round of documents came out. I don't remember what the press conference was.
Well, yeah, I believe there was the one where Peter Ducey got
correct.
And he kind of had that statement about the garage. Well, he was giving a speech that day, kind of touting the new job numbers that had come out from the Department of Labor and kind of the inflation numbers too. So I think he wanted to get out there to kind of tout his economic agenda and we ran sound bites from that speech. So, you can't say it was politically, a bad decision in many ways, because he still was able to, get his message out there about his economic plan, especially when, some might consider those numbers to be good news for the administration. But, he kind of bid on the question that was asked of him by Peter Ducey, and he answered the question. And I don't know if that's the answer that he wanted to give or the press office wanted him to give. But, it certainly also kind of led to more speculation and more sound bites of him using that the White House had to answer for down the road. So, you can kind of take from that politically what you want here and there. So that's kind of, that's kind of give or take with that situation.
Well, one thing we did learn, though, is that the Corvette is in a locked garage, man.
It's not right on the street. It's locked.
It's locked garage. It's a locked garage, like I said. It's locked.
Yes, he does keep his Corvette in a locked garage, which I think is what most people would advise you to do if you own a Corvette.
I guess you're right. All right, interesting stuff, Ryan. We'll see where all of this goes. We appreciate the time.
Absolutely, anytime, guys. Always great to be with you.
Have a great day, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio, and the Biden Corvette is locked.
Yeah,
in the
that
garage.
was. I chuckled quite a bit after the reaction. But Peter Ducey's trying to, pin him into a corner, and he goes, "You've got these documents in a locked garage?" And he, yes, and my Corvette's in a locked garage. Yeah,
it's locked, Corvette. Man. It's locked.
Okay.
I heard this last night, and it's true. On Saturday, a wager was placed that went viral. So this midstream betting, is that what they call it? Where you can bet.
Same game?
Live betting is what they
live
call it.
betting, yeah.
You can bet during a game online, and like it's halftime, and you can place more bets. So apparently on Saturday, somebody decided when the Chargers were up 27-0, they placed a $1.4 million bet on the Chargers to win. They were up 27-0 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Someone placed a mid-game bet on the Bolts to win for $1.4 million. Had the Chargers not blown it, that bet would have paid a profit of $11,200.
Wow.
I think somebody was drinking. Somebody with a lot of money was drinking. You're only going to win $11,000 there.
But here's the thing, though. Again, miracle come from behind. Trevor Lawrence has never done that in his life. All that aside, that's a great way to make $10,000 on a Saturday night when nothing's going on.
I guess, but you're risking $1.5 million.
I'm not saying I would do it, but what was this guy thinking? It had to be, I just need a quick $5,000 to go to the bar.
You know what? He had to be thinking, what a great way to make $11,000.
And Vegas is laughing all the way to the bank.
But when you think about it, on $1.5 million, you can make $11,000 pretty easily. You don't have to risk that. You don't have to risk that to make $11,000.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's really bad.
Why would you risk? You're risking to win less than 1% profit.
Yeah.
To me, that just doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to say this:
you could do better putting it in the bank.
Stupid people out there. The other thing is, you can bet on anything nowadays with these apps. You can bet on the next play is going to be an incomplete pass. The next play is going to be a pass that's complete, but it's for 3 yards, not 5.
Right.
You can bet on all this stuff. It's so addictive. I think maybe this was a chance for this person to, hey, listen, I can make some pocket change here by risking this chunk of money because there's no way Jacksonville can come back.
It's never going to happen, and it did.
Ouch.
Interestingly, if you have $1.4 million to blow, and it doesn't mean anything, and you have $1 billion somewhere else, I guess $1.4 million doesn't matter. But imagine being in that position to be able to say, "Watch me burn $1.4 million."
Incredible.
Yeah. But you're right. Who would have thought in a million years there would have been a comeback? The bet to put $1.4 million on would have been for the Jaguars to come back. Now, that would have paid.
Yeah, that would have paid unbelievably.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there was a couple of touchdown combos that would have paid well last night. I actually hit one, if I can just share that quickly. I had Julio Jones for a touchdown, and what was my other one? I'm sorry, it was Cameron Braid I had, and Dak Prescott for a touchdown. Paid 60-1, just like that.
Wow. That's pretty good. Got a break. News is straight ahead.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
It was supposed to be a family fun day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A Martin Luther King Jr. Day event, that was the name of it, at a park in Fort Pierce, Florida, included a car show. Ruined by gunfire. 8 people got shot.
It's sad that during a celebration of someone who represented peace and equality, that a disagreement results in a use of guns and violence.
St. Lucie County Chief Deputy Brian Hester. One of the victims is in critical condition. 4 others were hurt when the shooting led to chaos in the crowd. There have been no arrests. There's also a search for gunmen in a mass murder near Visalia, California. A mother and a baby among the 6 people killed.
2 victims were found dead in the street, a third in the doorway, and 3 inside the home, including one man who later died at a hospital. Officials say the attack does not appear to be a random act of violence, that they believe this was a targeted family and may be linked to gang activity, noting it comes after police conducted a narcotics search warrant at the home last week.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin in an arrest in New Mexico. A Republican who refused to believe he lost an election in November, Solomon Pena, is accused in a drive-by shooting in Albuquerque. Actually, 4 of them, targeting the homes of Democrats, 2 county commissioners, and 2 state lawmakers. They're still searching the wreckage of the plane crash in Nepal. They found all but 1 of the 72 people on board dead.
Looking for loved ones, searching for answers, a crowd gathers outside the morgue in Pokhara. Postmortems of 24 of the 70 bodies recovered so far will take place here. The rest will be flown to the capital, Kathmandu, before all are returned to their families. We still don't know what caused the crash.
As Fox's Jonathan Savage, as COVID hits China hard with a massive surge in cases last year, we find out its population declined last year for the first time in 6 decades, and China's birth rate hit the lowest level on record, and China's economic growth fell to 3%. America's listening to Fox News.
I've told you about my lower back pain and how kneeling in church on Sunday was becoming nearly unbearable. Sebastian Gorka here. I've also told you about how Relief Factor has helped almost eliminate my pain. Now, let me tell you what Robert in California says about his experience with Relief Factor. Robert writes, I didn't think Relief Factor was working until I ran out mid-month. After about 3 days, the pain was back to where it started. It was a great test for me to see how much Relief Factor really works. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing and living the life you love. Your first step to becoming pain-free from aches and pains from daily living could be just to order the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Just a few clouds around and 16 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Mike Carl's Epic January clearance sale. Save up to 70% on furniture and mattresses, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Shop Mike Carl's today in the New Hartford Shopping Center or Destiny USA. Utica police making an arrest in connection with a pair of burglaries that led to 2 women being attacked. The first incident happened on South Street in Utica involving a 15-year-old girl, and the other on Hilton Ave involving a 67-year-old victim. Police have made an arrest in the case. The suspect is 17 years old, so they are prohibited from releasing his identity. At this time, the totality of the charges is not complete, police say, and an updated release is expected to be released later today. Meanwhile, Syracuse police continuing their investigation into a drive-by shooting that left an 11-year-old girl dead last night. A 19-year-old man is injured as well. They say the child was walking home from a store near Oakwood Avenue and Martin Luther King East last night when someone pulled up in a vehicle and started shooting toward the 19-year-old. Both the girl and that man were rushed to a nearby hospital. However, the 11-year-old did not survive. She was pronounced dead there. The other man was treated for a leg injury. Anyone with information on that case is asked to contact Syracuse police. Tops Friendly Markets announcing the launch of their annual Checkout Hunger campaign, helping those in need. The supermarket chain asking shoppers to make a donation of $2, $3, or $5. When it's time to check out, proceeds will be given to participating food banks. Since the campaign began back in 2006, over $5 million has been raised. This year's campaign continues through February 4th. Bill, looking to hop on a train?
I'm seeing there's some sort of a buy one, get one deal going on right now.
You got it. It's from Amtrak. Opportunity to bring along a guest free of charge. A buy one, get one sale being held until February 28th, and all a person has to do is purchase a full-price coach ticket for travel within New York State, and then your companion gets to ride for free. One-day advance purchase is required. The offer applies to select trains only. More information at Amtrak.com/NY midweek winter BOGO.
But don't you have to buy like the day before?
You have to have at least 1 day in advance.
Oh, at least
one day advance purchase is required.
Okay.
So I took that to mean at least 1 day advance purchase.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The only thing I would say is I like to I think that for an extra like $25 a ticket, you can sit in business class, and they're nice, comfortable seats that recline and everything. Or you can sit in coach and have kids running all over top of you. And your companion goes for free. Which would you like?
Yeah, no, that's I get it. That's a good point. And also, is there a sleeping area when you do business?
There's a no. It's almost like you're in first class on an airplane, but it's not that much more expensive. And there's a curtain pulled, and it can be a little darker in the cabin.
You can nap sitting up with privacy.
Right. But then there's also the sleeper cabins, where you could go in and there's room for 2 people and there's a bunk bed that comes down. I think that's not that much more money if you had 2 people.
Interesting.
And you're on a long trip. And then you close the door and you don't get bothered. So there are a lot of different options with Amtrak.
So for those interested, it's amtrak.com/NY midweek winter BOGO.
Or you can save some dough. And by the way, that's only on certain routes. So
it must be in New York. That's one of the requirements as well.
All right.
An Albany County man charged in connection with the January 6th attack at the U.S. Capitol will be in front of a judge today. Prosecutors say that 37-year-old Troy Weeks of Rensselaer took an officer's can of pepper spray and touched the inside of a police riot shield on January 6th of 2021. Weeks is at least the 7th Capital Region resident to be arrested. Thousands of people stormed the building, of course, as we remember, in an attempt to stop Congress from certifying President Biden's win over former President Trump. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast calling for some mixed precipitation this morning. Chance of freezing rain and sleet before 2 p.m., and then after, it'll change over to all rain. A high today reaching 35. Tonight, chance of rain showers. Otherwise cloudy with a low of 33. Wednesday, a chance of rain showers in the afternoon, and then rain and snow possible in the evening. Tomorrow's high 36. Thursday, rain and snow mainly early in the day with a high of 37. So we're right around that freezing.
Yeah,
and
so
we're flirting with mixed precipitation.
We might get a little bit of mixed, messy precipitation this afternoon, but I don't think we're going to get that much. So much of it will be up to the north.
Just a few clouds right now, 16 degrees at 7:08.
All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Jesse Edwards led all scorers with a personal best, 25 points and 11 boards, but that was not enough. Late comeback by number 17, Miami. You know, Syracuse is up by 10 points, Davey. And then slowly but surely, they weren't scoring.
Yep.
And Mintz was struggling, and they weren't scoring. And before you knew it, Miami had tied and then took the lead.
Even Boeheim mentioned that in his post-game news conference that Mintz made mental freshman mistakes, he said.
He said, remember, the kid is still a freshman. He's still a freshman.
He said his brain is mincemeat. That's what he said.
Anyway, Syracuse losing 82-78 Monday night. Edwards had a stellar performance, though. Marked his 9th double-double of the season. Joe Girard, the 3rd, with 21 points. Benny Williams, 12. Each dished out 5 assists. Last night on Monday Night Football. This is really kind of an interesting thing. Now, I have a friend who's a firm believer that it's all fixed, that it is all
I love
fixed.
These people.
However, I'll ask you this. The over-under last night was 45.5 points. Do you see anything where someone could have controlled the over-under?
Listen, my guy Wayne has already messaged me. What was the final, 45?
45 was the final, and oh, by the way, the Dallas kicker missed 4 extra points.
Unheard of. But I will say this.
Unheard of. A record.
Let me
and
ask
the
you.
under ended up being the
I know.
winner.
So I think, for instance, we had somebody in when we did that special broadcast last week who said to us during a break, all sports is fixed. It's all, come on, debate me on it. And I was like, oh, gosh, I'm not going down this road. This is completely not true. You can't convince that person otherwise. But you watch these games, you see this. How difficult is it? You see guys drop routine passes, right? How difficult would it be to intentionally miss 4 field goals? Not only that, on live national television, plink one off an upright, and furthermore, even if he was on the take, right, and he was throwing that game to get the under,
he's
jeopardized his whole career.
He's now ready to lose his job.
Yeah.
There's a chance that, I mean, it was so bad that that they decided not to go for a field goal later in the game because they didn't feel like they could trust his leg.
I bet you could get 10 kickers and you offer them legitimately a lot of money. They couldn't intentionally miss that close 4 times in a row.
And there were a couple of misses that were that one miss went off the it went off the uprights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dak Prescott threw for 305 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers 31-14 in the NFC wildcard round in Tampa, closing out the wildcard round and setting up the matchups for this weekend. The Dallas Cowboys punched their ticket with their win Tom Brady is out. The Cowboys will square off with the 49ers on Sunday night. It's the later game. The Bills and Bengals will play the earlier game at 3 p.m. And what is the lineup on Saturday?
Saturday, the first game is Kansas City, Jacksonville.
And Jaguars, and then
Giants,
and Eagles.
You get
Harbaugh,
the 2-1 seeds on Saturday.
Jim Harbaugh is staying put in Michigan.
Yeah, okay.
And Sean Payton is considering the Texans job.
He is known for, look, I just signed a new deal. This is where I want to be. I want to be here. And the next day he signs a different contract.
And by the way, the Comets lose yesterday. They lost to the Syracuse Crunch and that matinee game yesterday afternoon. All right.
They'll play Syracuse on Friday night at home.
Okay, let's talk to Tanya Powers. So New York City Mayor Eric Adams has now visited the border.
The actual border. They didn't come through with mops and dustpans and clean everything up before he got there.
The real border. Tanya Powers, what do we know about this? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, he did a quick trip over the weekend down to the southern border. Spoke at a church on Sunday in El Paso. He has estimated, Friday, I think, before the trip, he said that services for migrants could cost New York City as much as $2 billion, billion with a B. That is higher than the estimates that had been previously put out. He was asked on Sunday during his trip how much he wanted the federal government to cover, and he said the whole thing. He is calling on the Biden administration what he wants is for the president to appoint someone at FEMA to head up a national response to the migrant crisis across the country, not just, hey, the cities are having a problem, please address this. It's, everybody's having a problem, it's out of hand. The federal government needs to step up. That seems to be what he's saying.
If I'm not mistaken, he even used the phrase, we are at capacity. Isn't that racist? I mean, if a Republican governor said that, they would, what do you mean you're at capacity? I just find it so ironic here. And interestingly, he wants the government, as you said, Tanya, to pay for the whole thing, which I couldn't imagine that they would do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the veracity of the quote. I didn't see that quote, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But, that's what he's saying that he wants. I don't know that the federal government's just going to go, well, all right, here's our checkbook. Let's just, let's just, let's do that real quick.
And you wonder why this is a big deal for the New York City mayor, but there are busloads of migrants who are being shipped up from places like Texas to New York City, and the city's left to deal with those people. And basically, Texas is saying, we shouldn't be the only ones having to handle this burden. So it is an interesting play back and forth. I don't know where it's all going to go, but who knows? Maybe this year, this next 2 years, the federal government and Biden's administration will pay attention to this. Definitely a big problem.
I mean, that's what the mayor was saying. He said, that it's not a situation of nobody cared until the cities were hurting. It's just now at this point he's trying to get the attention of the Biden administration, which is why he said he made the trip in the first place.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, Tanya, thank you so much. As always, we appreciate it. Have a great day. Tanya J. Powers from Fox News.
And as you said, trying to get the Biden administration's attention. Meanwhile, they're all digging through closets looking for more classified documents.
You're right. Yeah, we're busy. Sorry. We are using the migrant workers. They're actually scouring through the homes and the offices and the former offices.
Yeah, drawers.
Wayne says at the casino, it was the over/under was 46. So either way, the total point score last night was 45. So those 4 extra points made all the difference in the world.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that. It got so bad, I really feel bad for the guy. You could see him practically blushing on the field like, how is this happening? And again, Yankees fans know all too well, late 90s, Chucky Knobloch could not throw from his position, not second base, the base, from his position, which is halfway to first base, could not throw the ball to first base. I just think it's one of those things.
I think it gets into their heads, right?
You overthink, and you just destroy your career on live television.
Davey?
How about Scott Norwood for us, Bill?
You're right.
Well, but
You're
that's
right.
one kick.
You're right.
You know,
but they
but
ruined
it
him.
was the Super Bowl, Jeff.
No, I understand. And from how far away was he? You know, if you gave Scott Norwood today, I almost said Scott Norwood.
Well, but that was a he should have made obviously
he
should have made
it.
that.
Yeah. No, he should have made it.
Yeah.
But if you gave him 4 chances at it, you think he would have hit one of them?
And who they play in that game? The lowly Giants.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that year, the Bills were like the team. Nobody could touch the Bills.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
You say the lowly Giants until you need somebody to beat
right.
Tom Brady
You're
after
right.
he owned your team for years.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. In fact, didn't Brady? Brady had not lost to the Dallas Cowboys in 7 or 8 games.
Correct.
That's interesting. Mike says, this is Rick. In reference to the documents, reports call them pages. Are they pages from a single classified document, or are they separate classified documents? Good question. I do not know the answer to any of that. Mike says they talk a lot about having a visitor's log at the president's houses so we can figure out who might have seen top secret documents. They should have had a visitor's blog at Congress on January 6th. Then it would have been much easier to figure out who to arrest for the insurrection.
Okay.
That's a very good point. And was there another comment that I thought was? Oh, I thought listen, both sides are making stupid comments over these documents, both Republicans and Democrats. One of the stupid Republican comments I heard the other day was, you know why this is actually worse for Biden? He was vice president. Donald Trump was president, which meant he could just declassify the documents. Well, that's not true either. There's a whole process you have to go through in order to declassify a document. I mean, it's almost like we're believing now that if I just think that the documents are declassified, they're instantly declassified. None of this makes any sense. And I do think that both Democrats and Republicans are sounding really ridiculous right now. This ridiculous back and forth.
I love the Peter Strzok. We have documents mishandled every single day.
Stupid comment.
You kidding?
And you know, the other thing to come back to bite you is all of the clips they have of Biden saying how irresponsible it was of Trump to have removed classified documents.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, where is he right now?
I mean, what I heard yesterday also.
What an embarrassment for the country.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Bill, and on both sides. And this is not in defense of Trump, but I heard something yesterday that I didn't realize before, that his lawyers met with the DOJ at some point, had the way it was said on Fox News was that they had dinner, but were shown the documents, that the DOJ was aware of the documents and said, until we retrieve them from you, can you please keep them behind a locked door? And I just found that interesting that they knew what the documents were. Obviously, ultimately, they decided to enter the home and take them themselves because they apparently were sick of waiting.
Because what was said at one point is, you now have all the documents. So that part, the timeline is the problem with that whole thing.
Yeah.
So you now have all the documents, but that means someone inside had to have leaked to the DOJ that there were documents that were not, there were documents that were still there, and it turns out there were. So who's that person? Who's the mole inside Trump's circle? There's got to be somebody.
I don't know. The humming in the background is not a paper shredder. I promise.
Yeah,
it's
it
not.
might be. River Hills Properties, the fastest growing real estate company in central New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties, and it is all about the services that are provided, the extra services, the extra things they do. And it all begins on day one. They learn everything there is to know about your home, so that when questions are asked, they're there when the house is shown. They can answer those questions. It speeds up the process. They also can be there. They will be there every time your house is shown. They don't use the lockbox. They make sure your listing agent is on the scene whenever the property is shown. And that one of the benefits of that is making sure the lights are on. The house is prepped. It's tidied up. It's ready to go. You're putting your best foot forward. You're showing the home in the best possible light. No pun intended. It makes all the difference in the world when you're showing your home. It's these extra services that they provide that make it that much easier and stress-free for the seller and for the buyer If you're looking to sell your property, why wouldn't you list with River Hills? River Hills Properties in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
Get ready for war. CNY Wing Wars is back for its 6th year on Saturday, February 4th. Brought to you by the Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation. Come enjoy the spoils of the most delicious war in history at the Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro. Participants include Ray Brothers Barbecue, Pizza Boys, Hot Off the Brick, Killabrew, Fratello's, Tony's of New Hartford, Utica Barbecue, Pizzeria Italia, Piggy Pats, Knuckleheads, Celtic Harp, and Lukins. Let your voices be heard by voting for your favorites in Best Wing and Most Unique categories. Featuring a panel of special guest judges, including yours truly, Will Phillips from WOUR. Admission is $30 and includes a slice of pizza, wing sampling, and 1 free beer or soda. Tickets are extremely limited and will sell out, so don't drag your feet. 100% of the proceeds will assist cancer patients in Oneida and surrounding counties. Grab your tickets now through thejmcf.org or by calling 315-339-5993. Don't miss the 6th annual CNY Wing Wars.
Hi, this is Frank with Northland Trailers located on River Road in Marcy. At Northland, we offer a full line of utility, snowmobile, enclosed, dump, and equipment trailers. We can also custom design a trailer to meet your specific needs. In addition to trailers, we have a full parts showroom, and we service what we sell. Our family business is proud to have been serving our community for over 4 decades. Northland Trailers is located right outside the city of Utica. So swing on down and let's talk towing.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
$7:25 and smile, Davey. Come on, man. Give a big smile there. We'll do our free money question coming up in a second from the Hobica Law Firm. Chance for you to win $100 in cash from Joseph and Andrew Hobica. Tom this morning says, I take classified documents seriously, but I say, no, you seriously take classified documents. That's funny. Let me go to Dr. Kent Hall from MVHS, standing by on the line. Good morning, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. Great to have you on. And so where are we right now in the whole COVID world? You hear many, many situations where people have symptoms. They're getting their home test done. It's coming up negative. They then go and get a full test done, and it's positive. Are our numbers declining, though?
So from a hospitalization standpoint, the answer is that our numbers are looks like it's a slight decline from last week, which is about what I would expect because it's usually the peak for hospitalizations is usually about 2 weeks after any kind of gatherings, which the holidays that we just went through would definitely be considered that. And so now we're getting into week 3, and we have seen a slight decline. So we hit a high of COVID cases that were hospitalized in the Mohawk Valley Health System of about 35 to 37 last week. As of yesterday, we were down to 23, so that number jumps around a little bit, but it's been consistently on a slight downhill decline. So that's from a hospitalization standpoint. Overall, the number of people that have been infected is a much harder number to track now compared to what it was a year or 2 years ago. Some of that relates to the fact that that a lot of people are doing home tests, and whether they're positive or negative, they're not really recorded anywhere. They're just people just test themselves. There are some people, like, if you have to work somewhere and you test positive and you can't go to work, obviously that's something that's known, but that's not the large percentage of the population. It's hard to say for sure. The other thing that is really a good thing is that many people now, because of immunity that exists, either because people have gotten infected a few times, and people have gotten immunized, and the current vaccines work very well to keep people from getting severely ill. They may have mild symptoms or essentially no symptoms, so they've been infected, but they don't really know it, and they don't bother getting tested. So the overall spread through the community is much harder to track than it has been in prior years.
I want to ask you your thoughts on the recent judge who has basically ruled that the New York vaccine mandate is now null and void in the state. Where does that put hospitals? Where does that put you guys right now?
Yeah, so we're kind of waiting to see what happens next. We have not gotten any directive from the Department of Health that says that that we should be changing things, that we should be allowing people to work within hospitals that have not been vaccinated. So we're in a little bit of a wait and see as we await direction from the Department of Health.
Okay, so as of right now, no action is being done. I mean, it's possible I believe the state has appealed this, right?
I believe that they have. I actually haven't seen I haven't seen any media reports where that has definitely happened, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me if they did. And I think that that's an expectation.
Okay. All right. But ultimately, there are people that had to leave their jobs at MVHS because they refused to get vaccinated.
Yes, there were a number. I can't speak to exactly what that number was. It was a relatively small number compared to our overall number of employees, but yes, and certainly, if this ruling holds and the Department of Health says that we can start to have those people come back if they choose to, then I'm sure the Department of Health will also say, however, these are the caveats that will need to be done to ensure that we're keeping people as safe as possible. Because remember, this was about trying to make sure that the patients are being cared for by people who have a low likelihood of actually transmitting the disease to them.
And 2023 is the year that we'll be opening the new hospital downtown. Where does that put you guys on what sort of timeline will you be on moving forward? Because I know there's a transition of people into the new hospital that's going to take a little bit of time. It's not just going to be like you flip a switch.
No, that's exactly true. So we've been going for the last, I would say, at least a year and a half or 2 years. We've been going through what we call our operational readiness, basically, understanding what the new geography is going to mean in terms of how we provide care to patients, and that covers everything. It covers, not only bedside patient care, but it also covers, how our EVS workers going to work, how our cafeteria workers going to. I mean, it's everything. And so, now we're getting into the next phase of that, which is to, how do we integrate all of those individual departments so that they're working in a relatively seamless way.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But in terms of the logistics, you are correct that there will be some aspects of the hospital care or hospital processes that will actually move into the new facility sooner than others. Obviously, the plan is that we will move patients into the new hospital in October, but we anticipate that some things will be moving downtown probably as early as mid to late summer.
Okay. Dr. Hall, as always, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Please have a great day, and please be safe.
You do the same. Thank you. Dr. Kent Hall from MVHS. All right, coming up, Manaski with an update on the news. Then we'll do our free money question of the day. Chance for you to be introduced to Frank DeBrango once again here this morning. He, of course, is on the Utica Common Council and has announced he's running on the Democratic line for mayor of Utica. His challenger will be Celeste Friend. We'll speak with Mr. DeBrango coming up in a few minutes at WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants to help transform your home in the new year. Their pieces have timeless design and incredible craftsmanship. Their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For over 45 years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces to top designers, they have everything you need for any space. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just looking for some pieces to pull the look together, like quality lamps, rugs, and pictures, Adirondack Home Furniture is the place to shop. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and transform your home for the new year. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
So you have an event coming up, a little party at the house. You're going to somebody else's party. You got to take something along. Think about Hemstraat's and artisan cheese, artisan premium cheese located in the Hemstraat's building at 900 Oswego Street in Utica. You know they're open 7 days a week, or you can order online at any time at artisanalcheese.com. That's artisanalcheese.com in Utica. And we're talking about the most amazing cheeses. If you have any passion about delicious cheese made from around the globe, made in small artisan batches, aged to perfection, this is your opportunity. Artisanal premium cheese. Sample a large selection of cheeses from around the world. Add their delicious restaurant-quality breads and charcuterie from Italy and France, and you have the perfect gift to take along with you. The perfect night out. And you dug into the cheeses just the other day.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, on Sunday, I have the habit of picking throughout the day, especially you got 3 games on, so you're eating
Perfect.
here
Yeah.
and on and on. So I just pulled it out. I chopped up the cheese a little bit, had the crackers, throw a little fruit, like some grapes or something like
You're
that.
set.
And you just pick as you're watching the games. It's a great way to relax.
What a highbrow way to watch a football game. Artisanal premium cheese located in the Hemstratz Building, 900 Oswego Street. And Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Located at 900 Oswego Street, Utica. Open 7 days a week or always online. Artisanalcheese.com.
All right, Bill, still chilly out there. A few clouds around and 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:36. California finally catching a break as the rains that have pounded the state for the past 3 weeks are finally letting up. Scattered showers expected this morning across Southern California, while flood watches that covered millions of Californians along the Central Coast have now expired. The White House making it clear there are no visitor logs kept at President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home, where classified materials were discovered this month. House Republicans have demanded information related to misplaced documents from Biden's time as vice president, including any visitor logs from his private home. The family of a man who died in Memphis police custody earlier this month is retaining the services of civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Tyree Nichols' relatives say officers reacted unjustly in using force to subdue him during a traffic stop for reckless driving on January 7th. Some Wyoming state lawmakers pushing to end electric vehicle sales by the state in the year 2035. A group of Republicans introducing a bill calling for a ban. The measure says the ban would help safeguard Wyoming's oil and gas industries. Elvis Presley's Graceland estate will pass to his 3 granddaughters. Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, who died of cardiac arrest last week in Southern California, was the sole owner of Graceland, where her memorial service is now scheduled to take place on Sunday. We now know that she has left the estate to her daughters, 33-year-old Riley and 14-year-old twins Harper and Finley. And the Powerball jackpot is getting up there again. Last night's jackpot was worth $416 million, but no one won. That means the next drawing on Wednesday will be worth at least $439 million. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast says we could see some mixed precipitation and some messy travel conditions here over the next couple of days. We do have a chance of freezing rain and sleet before 2 p.m. today. Then rain showers likely later in the day, a high reaching 35 today. Overnight tonight, chance of rain showers, a low of 33. Wednesday, a chance of rain showers before 5 p.m., then rain and snow in the evening. Tomorrow's high 36. Wednesday night, snow showers, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. Little or no snow accumulation is expected. Right now, we have a few clouds, 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:39.
Davey, let's do our free money question here. A chance to win $100 in cash from Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, the Hobeika Law Firm. And this morning, what do you want to go with? What calling number?
3.
Third caller through the phone lines at 315-736-0186. Third caller through the lines. I've got a great question for you that is 100% doable. Really, every day is right. Every day is doable.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Third caller. Chance to win from Hobeika and WIBX coming up next.
Hi, this is Scott Hayes.
And this is Jill Hayes from New York Sash.
You know, honey, the first time you said never let a window salesperson into your home, I thought you were nuts, but you were right.
Like there was really any doubt.
Seriously, so many people have told us how nice it is to shop in our beautiful showroom where there's never any high pressure.
Yep, and it's even nicer when we can help people save.
Like right now, buy 2 New York Sash windows and get 1 free.
We get slow during the winter, and we need to stay busy, so you get the best deal we make all year. Buy 2 windows, get 1 free.
Buy 4, get 2 free.
Buy 6 windows, get 3 free. There's no end to the savings.
And there's no need to invite a pushy salesperson into your home. Instead, stop by the New York Sash Idea and Design Center, where you can browse at your convenience.
We're open Monday through Saturday on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
These savings are only available for a limited time, so come in today. And as always,
let our family take care of your family.
Steep Pawnee Chevy wants to make it easy to get you into a new car in the new year. That's why you'll find a huge selection of 2023s in stock and incredible lease deals. Test drive our 2023 Chevy Equinox LS all-wheel drive with convenience package, 27 months, 10,000 miles per year lease for only $397 a month. Or how about our 2023 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab LT, four-wheel drive all-star edition, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Lease it for just $497 a month. Steep Pawnee Chevrolet. Find new roads at your locally owned and operated dealership, Route 28 in Herkimer, or online at steeppawneechevy.com. See why it's always easy to do business at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet. Customer must qualify top-tier credit with GM Financial. 25 cents per mile mileage penalty over 30,000 miles. $1,000 down plus all taxes, fees, first payment due on delivery. Must have current GM lease and household and take delivery by 1/31/2023.
There's no better time than the new year to resolve to protect your identity and finances. Identity thieves can take out loans in your name, take over and drain your banking and investment accounts, and more. It can be dangerously easy to become a victim of identity theft. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect your identity and financial future. LifeLock monitors your accounts and credit and detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. And if you do become a victim of ID theft, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock by Norton is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Join today and save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS. That's lifelock.com. Promo code NEWS to save 25% off.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Oh, here we go. 7:43, and it's the free money question of the day from Hobika. The Hobika Law Firm, Hobika, at 315-724-1600. Joseph and Andrew Hobika. Sean is our contestant here in Boonville. Hello, Sean. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you from Boontucky.
Good morning.
From Boontucky. I like it. Okay, here's your question. You know you have 7 seconds to answer. We're going to go all the way back to 1927. Edwin Perkins created what he called Fruit Smack. Today, it's called what? Ready, go.
Oh, I don't know. Mountain Dew, coffee, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite.
Well, you were going down the right road of drink. That's for darn sure.
Okay.
Anybody want to know? Anybody have an idea what's Fruit Smack became?
Kool-Aid?
Fruit Smack became Kool-Aid.
Really?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it was a total guess.
Yep. Yeah, it was Kool-Aid. So the original 6 flavors of Kool-Aid: cherry, grape, lemon lime, orange, raspberry, and strawberry. Yeah, goes back to 1927. Okay there, Sean. We're going to give you a table at Fat Cats Comedy Club. Jimmy Fallon tickets still available. Just a few remaining. Go to the website and check it out. That's fatcatscomedyclub.com. And the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun Card, $25 gift card to Aquavino, Babes. By the way, Aquavino opening in New Hartford later this month.
Awesome.
Babes, 72 Taylor and the Cook, and any of the Adirondack Bank Center or Nexus Center concession stands. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you very much. Little Elvis right there from Sean. Stand by. Davey's gonna hook you up, Sean. Thank you.
Can I say when I was a kid, I loved Kool-Aid, and even to this day, when I'm looking for a non-carbonated sweet drink, I will go to Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
But when I grew up, we didn't have 6 flavors. We had 2. We had grape and tropical punch, and then there was a third variety when you had a little bit of grape left and a little bit of tropical punch. You just mixed them together.
And
threw in some water.
And that became a new flavor.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So there were, though, the original had 6 flavors. And his test kitchen in Nebraska was at his mom's house. And in that kitchen, they created all sorts of. Now, the initial Fruit Smack came with water, but he was struggling in shipping it, so he found a way to just ship the powder, and you'd add your water and sugar at home.
It's interesting. You can buy it now. It's like it looks like a little mini water jug, right? But it's worth it'll probably do maybe 10 to 12 quarts, where it's the mix and the sugar. But then you can still also buy just the individual little packet.
The packets,
looks
yeah.
like a little seasoning packet
Yeah.
with no sugar. You got to add your own sugar. And those things, I think they sell them 3 or 4 packets each for you get 3 or 4 packets for $1.
Well, it used to be. Now it's $10.
Right
up there with the eggs.
The Biden economy.
The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts. Much better than Kool-Aid. Daylight Donuts, Seattle's best, as Manaski likes it. Just black. Don't do anything to it. It's the pure taste, and he loves it. Coffee, espressos. They have lattes, like 13, 14 different flavors. Iced coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and, of course, fresh bagels, fresh donuts made there every day. Bring coffee in a box. Take it to your workplace. And you know the drive-thru, Chuck and everybody over there, they take care of you. You're in and out and on your way within minutes. It's very fast drive-thru. That makes all the difference in the world. Frank DeBrango is running as a Democrat for the mayoral seat in Utica. He'll be primarying Celeste Friend, and Frank DeBrango is on the line right now. Frank, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. Well, congratulations on the announcement, and now the work begins, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, the work already started.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're ready to go.
So why are you running? Why are you throwing your hat into the race?
Well, first of all, there's a great opportunity. Obviously, there's an open seat, and I believe the administration, the county, the state, they built a great foundation here in the city of Utica. So I want to build off of that foundation. I've been born and raised here. I have five and a half years, well, a little over 5. I'll be starting my 6th year on the council.
Okay.
I put my time in. I really feel that the city is going in the right direction. I know I could be an asset to the city. I've had 35 years of management experience in the private sector. I own a business for 20 years as well, managing people, meeting budgets, expenses. I got what it takes to be mayor, and 20 years plus in public safety as well. So I'm ready for the job. I'll be looking forward to, debating whatever it takes to get to the end of this campaign.
Well, Frank, we'd love to certainly have a debate right here on the program. But before we get to that, can I ask you a few things about your background? You mentioned the 35 years, the 20 years as a business owner, 35 years in management, and then you also mentioned public safety. Can you expand on those 3? What did you do?
Well, in 1987, I became operations manager for LB Security, which we outsource security officers to businesses. And 35 years later, I'm now vice president of business development in the company. Imagine 35 years in the same company. It's a long time. So, you're managing, security officers every day. You're making sure the expenses are met, things of that nature. You want to make sure your clients' needs are met. And then in 1987, I became a Utica professional firefighter. I spent 20 years on the department. Just, you're always helping people at their worst times, throughout those years. I retired in 2010. But during that time, 2001, being in the security business, you're pretty much going 24/7.
Sure.
I wanted to start an answering service, which I did from the ground up. And fortunate enough, we had it for 20 years, completing the sale in 2021. And same thing, you're managing operators, you're making sure the clients, all their requests are made, you're paying, you're doing payroll, and you're managing people. So that's what I do. Also, like I said, I spent the last over 5 years on the common council.
Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful. You learn a lot, and you make decisions that affect people's lives.
What was your business? I'm sorry, Frank. You said you had it 20 years. It was an answering service?
Yeah, Accutel Answering Service. We answered for many, many professionals in the area, tow truck companies,
gotcha.
doctors.
Okay.
We if if you probably name who your physician is, we may have answers for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Is that service still a viable? Is it still a viable business these days?
Well, with all the technology coming out, I thought, I felt maybe it's time. Maybe the old style is picking up the phone and talking to a live operator. With all these, technology with the companies that they have, I think it's going to be ending. So I think we moved out at the right time.
That's a sad thing because I can't stand talking to a machine when I call.
I know it.
Matter of fact, I just paid my Verizon bill. That's where I guess I'm letting that out of the bag. That's not where I'm affiliated. It's Verizon. But every time you call, they have an answering service, and it says, making a payment. Would you like to know your balance or go right to payment? And you say go right to payment, and they go, let's start with balance details. Yeah. I skipped that part. Are you kidding me?
I start
number one.
I now start every sentence when talking to people with I speak in complete sentences. And it really sets people at ease knowing that I speak in complete sentences. I don't know how that's supposed to make me feel comfortable.
To a live operator, they take down the information, and then with the equipment we had, you just hit a couple buttons, and it's automatically text to a doctor or whoever.
That's awesome. So, but you're right. With the technology today, it's all changing. What would you do? How would you update and upgrade the city of Utica? How would Mayor DeBrango treat the business going forward for Utica?
Well, right now, actually, as you're speaking, they're putting a brand new phone system in City Hall.
Okay.
We just got an email the other day, and I guess it didn't go over too well. It was supposed to go over yesterday, but they had some glitches in there. So right now, as far as updating, I know there's many. We as a council allocated some money for cameras on the streets in the high crime areas and things of that nature. So that's very good. We want to upgrade that. We want to make sure there's more cameras downtown to make people feel safe. So it's already been started. Will I continue it? Sure. When the funding comes in, we could afford it. I would definitely look into more cameras. But I didn't want to put them. I want to put them in high crime areas. A lot of people say, "Well, Big Brother's watching." I just want to make sure that they're strategically placed, and they do help, and they do solve crimes. Talking to the police chief, he said that some of the crimes have been solved by street pole cameras. They could flag someone down and get a plate number or whatever it may be. So I think that's a good thing.
Can you talk about? You were a firefighter. At last check, the last time that we got an update on this, the Utica Fire Department in certain locations were still dealing with these dorms, if you will, with leaky roofs, holes in the ceiling, etc. Has that been corrected to your knowledge? And if not, how high up on the priority list is that for you as a former firefighter?
No, it is very high up on the priority. Yes, actually, they're working at the Central Firehouse now in Station Number 1. Recently, we actually allocated some American Rescue Plan Act money towards it. But recently, what happened was we had some money left over in the CDBG funding, which allows us to allocate that money towards the construction of the firehouses and any other city property, which was good. So now we took back some of the ARPA money. We could spend it on other things in the city that's needed. But yeah, they're working on it now. They haven't changed since I left in 2010, so it's much needed, and I'm going to be getting a sneak peek in the near future just to see what it looks like. But we did get the plans. We saw that what they were going to look like.
All right.
And they're making progress.
I'd like to know where you stand on the Stewart's project in South Utica.
Well, the Stewart's project, it's a pretty much a private deal. It is zoned commercial mixed use. I don't want to stop any progress from the city. Stewart's does bring a lot of money into the area. A lot of people like the Stewart brand. I just wish that they want to take down that corner house, which is zoned commercial, and I just don't want to disrupt that neighborhood. That's the only thing that that worries me.
Okay.
But the most important thing in South Utica right now is probably the St. Elizabeth campus. You have to repurpose that, and I just want to make sure, if I'm mayor or if I'm not, if it happens during when I'm on the council, make sure that the property values, integrity of the South Utica neighborhood, do not depreciate. So we want to make sure that whatever goes on that property, whatever it has in store for it, I just want to make sure I see it through as mayor. So there's two things going on in South Utica right now, and that the hospital is going to be. I think the gentleman just mentioned, the doctor mentioned maybe October they'll be moving patients. So that building's going to be vacant. So we want to make sure that it's repurposed properly.
Okay.
Do you feel the city's role in that regard is maybe shepherding some kind of agreement with a third party, or the city taking ownership and looking to do something with it?
Well, I would like to see. I'd like to see if we can possibly take ownership. That would be great. But all options are on the table. And what I think legislator Julian had a good point. Boy, if we could actually purchase that thing, maybe take it down. It is maybe, I don't know how old, but it's old. It's an older building, and really you can't really put it to use. I know the garage is in disrepair, the parking garage. So I would like to see. They're always granting money to construction companies for. Taking for instance, taking over the Mayoral building, $4 million here, $10 million here. Why can't we get some of that money from the state or federal dollars and help us take that building down and maybe give it to a private developer and just put in some nice, beautiful single-family homes that fit into that neighborhood? That would be the best use for it. But then again, we have to watch, the cost.
Any chance of a Stewart Superstore?
Maybe
we can put
could
one.
be, yes. Speaking with Frank DeBrango, running as a Democrat for Utica mayor. Finally, why you and not your opponent, Celeste Friend?
Well, obviously, I think I have the experience, and whatever my opponent, whatever she wants to talk about, whatever, that's fine. She has every right to do that. But I think let the voters decide, when we do have our debate and get our message out, however we do that. But I know I can handle this job. This job, I could slip into this job very, very easy. I manage people. I've been around all my life, 63 years here in Utica. I have public safety experience. That's what's needed for a mayor. They need a leader. I am going to be that leader, and I will take the what do they say, the bull by the horns, I guess. That's what they say. So I will, I'm confident that I can get to the finish line.
All right. Frank DeBrango, let's do it again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. You have a great day.
You do the same. Thanks. News is coming right up at WIBX.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares. The Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
WIBX 950 Utica, Rome. W295DI Utica, Rome.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's shameful that this guy would use MLK Day to lie to the American people.
Congressman Jim Banks, who claims President Biden and Democrats overspent the past 2 years, spiking inflation. Not happy the president chose a Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast in Washington to say this about Republicans.
These guys are the fiscally demented, I think. They don't quite get it.
The president touted that the Democrats have reduced the deficit.
The U.S. is set to hit the debt ceiling on Thursday. The Treasury says they are going to have to take extraordinary measures to avoid a default. And at some point, Republicans and Democrats are going to have to sit down and figure out a long-term solution. For now, it sounds like both sides are pretty far apart.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. Also on MLK Day, gunfire ruins a family event and car show at a Fort Pierce, Florida park. 8 people were shot. One's in critical condition. 4 others were hurt as people scurried.
It was mass chaos, as you can imagine, when shots ring out with, there were 1,000+ people here.
St. Lucie County Deputy Chief Brian Hester says there have been no arrests. At least 2 suspects being sought in California in a mass murder. 6 people found shot dead, including a mother and a baby.
We believe that this was a targeted family.
Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau thinks it might be gang-related. COVID keeps hitting China hard. Amid a massive recent surge in cases, we find out its population shrank last year for the first time in 60 years, with the lowest birth rate on record, and China's economic growth also slowed to the lowest in decades. Now what? That's the big question for Tom Brady. Again, after he and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost on Monday Night Playoff Football, beaten 31-14 by Dallas. Brady's 45, unretired before the season, said after the game.
This has been a lot of focus on, this game. So, yeah, it's just be one day at a time.
America's listening to Fox News.
I've told you about my lower back pain and how kneeling in church on Sunday was becoming nearly unbearable. Sebastian Gorka here. I've also told you about how Relief Factor has helped almost eliminate my pain. Now, let me tell you what Robert in California says about his experience with Relief Factor. Robert writes, I didn't think Relief Factor was working until I ran out mid-month. After about 3 days, the pain was back to where it started. It was a great test for me to see how much Relief Factor really works. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing and living the life you love. Your first step to becoming pain-free from aches and pains from daily living could be just to order the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com. or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Just a few clouds, the sun coming up. We have 15 degrees. WIBX news time is 8:03. We also have a winter weather advisory that is in place from 8 this morning until 2 this afternoon. Some mixed precipitation possible, ice accumulations of a light glaze. That's for Madison, Southern Oneida, and Shenango counties. I'll have a closer look at your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Utica police making an arrest in connection with a pair of weekend incidents involving home break-ins and sexual attacks. Police said over the weekend they responded to a home on South Street and then another residence on Hilton Ave, where women who lived there claimed that there was a man inside their home. In one case, the intruder tried to sexually assault a 15-year-old girl. In another case, police say he did sexually assault a 67-year-old woman. Police making an arrest on Monday. They say the suspect is 17 years old, and they are prohibited from releasing his identity. Thus far, they have not released charges. They say an updated release is expected to come out later today. An awful story in Syracuse as police are investigating a drive-by shooting that left an 11-year-old girl dead. A 19-year-old man was injured as well. Police say the child was walking home from a store near Oakwood Avenue and Martin Luther King East in Syracuse last night. Someone pulled up in a vehicle and started shooting toward the 19-year-old man. Both the girl and the man were struck and rushed to a nearby hospital. The 11-year-old victim was pronounced dead at the hospital. The 19-year-old suffered a leg injury. Anyone with information on that case is encouraged to call Syracuse police. Tops Friendly Markets announcing the launch of their annual Checkout Hunger campaign to help those in need in Central New York. The supermarket chain asking shoppers to make a donation of $2, $3, or $5 when it's time to check out. Proceeds will be given to participating food banks. Since the campaign began back in 2006, over $5 million has been raised. This year's campaign continues until February 4th. Amtrak offering customers the opportunity to bring someone along with them on their next trip free of charge. They've got a buy one, get one sale going on through February 28th. All a person has to do is purchase a full-price coach ticket for travel within New York State, and your companion can ride at no cost. One-day advance purchase is required. The offer only applies to select trains. More information at Amtrak.com. And an Albany County man charged in connection with the January 6th riots at the state capitol will be in front of a judge today. Prosecutors say 37-year-old Troy Weeks of Rensselaer took an officer's can of pepper spray and touched the inside of a police riot shield on January 6th of 2021. Weeks is at least the 7th Capital Region resident to be arrested after the protests. Thousands of people stormed the Capitol building in an attempt to stop Congress from certifying President Biden's victory over former President Trump. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast brought to you by My Carl's Epic January clearance sale. Save up to 70% on furniture and mattresses, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Shop My Carl's today in the New Hartford Shopping Center or Destiny USA. A winter weather advisory in effect from 8 this morning until 2 this afternoon. Some mixed precipitation expected, and we could see a light glaze of ice. Officially, some freezing rain and sleet in the forecast before 2 p.m., some rain in the forecast after 2 p.m., a high today reaching 35 degrees. Overnight tonight, we do have some more rain and possibly some snow showers in the forecast. Mostly rain, a low of 33. Wednesday, a chance of rain showers before 5 p.m. Then in the evening, a rain-snow mix possible. Tomorrow's high 36. Wednesday night, some snow showers through the overnight, but little or no snow accumulation is expected. The low on Wednesday night will be in the upper teens. Right now, the low on Wednesday night will be 25. Right now, we have 16 degrees. Sun coming up, a few clouds. WIBX News Time is 8:07.
All right, the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk. Here we go. Last night, NFL's divisional roundup has been set. Does that make any sense? I guess it doesn't, especially considering I'm reading this all backwards. We now know what the NFL upcoming divisional weekend is going to look like, right?
Absolutely.
Because last night we watched Tom Brady go down.
Tampa Bay!
He just did not look, he didn't look like Tom Brady last night, did he?
No, he looked like a statue throwing the ball, spiking the ball into the ground.
At one point, he threw the ball, and the defender was in his face, so he really didn't see. The receiver missed it, and Brady's like, "What's wrong with you? You're not catching the What is wrong with you?" Well, the ball was like 8 feet from him. Okay, that you didn't see it because the guy was in your face. That's probably what he was complaining about, not the fact that the ball wasn't caught. It's like, how do you let someone get near me?
Yeah, well,
for how long was Brady just never touched?
I have to say this too, and again, I know he's he's the GOAT, right? I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying, at this point in his career, you watch him move around. I question whether they say, was Brady coming back? Does a team want him to come back? If you watch it, any other quarterback in the league takes 2 steps out of the pocket and just spikes the ball anytime he's under pressure. That's what Eli Manning was doing his final year because he didn't want to get hit.
Right.
So he'd be under pressure. He'd just spike the ball at the feet of a wide receiver or a running back. I watched that happen so many times last night. Any other quarterback in the league, the fans would be screaming, try to get it to the running back. Try to throw it away better. But it seems to be acceptable because he's the GOAT, but I don't know what offense wants to do that in 2023.
A couple of interesting takeaways from last night's game, the wild card game. Dak Prescott threw for 305 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cowboys beating the Buccaneers 31-14 in the wild card round in Tampa. I think that the big talk was the kicker.
There's no question. Chuck Knobloch kicking field goals.
Maher is
Maher. I think it's Maher.
Well,
Maher.
Maher, yeah, that's how they're pronouncing it. Brett Maher missed 4 extra points, not field goals. 4 extra points. That's never been done before.
Unbelievable. I almost felt bad for him. And the guy's a cowboy, and I almost felt bad for him.
And by the way, you have now all the bettors out there like, I took the over. The over was either 45.5 or 46, depending on where you were. And they scored 45 points. And, oh, by the way, 4 gimmies were missed. So 4 points that would be it's like procedural. And I get it. There are more extra points that are missed this year than since they moved it back a little bit. But still, these are just gimmies.
Let me say this, though.
4 were missed.
I'm pulling up to get the exact time on it. Because Tampa Bay got a garbage time touchdown that they didn't have to get. They drove down with about 4 or 5 minutes left in the red zone. Ultimately, they were at like the 5. and then there was a holding penalty that backed him up, and they ended up going 4th down. It was a turnover on downs. They didn't score, so it was still 31-6. But then they got the ball back
And
again.
by the way,
and
they got the onside kick.
Did they?
Tampa Bay got an onside kick. Now, they were down by 2 touchdowns and a little bit. Well, 2 scores anyway.
17. 17.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they got the onside kick.
So with 2 minutes left, they get a touchdown pass to Cameron Brate. They get the 2-point conversion, and then, as you said, I didn't even realize I turned the game off by that point. They get the onside kick. But let me just say this. Everybody's talking about, well, it was only 1 point from going over or under, and it's because of the missed kicks. But we wouldn't even have this conversation. If this game was rigged, they would not have Brady march down and throw a touchdown with 2 minutes left to pull it within 1 point, and then they recover an onside kick. Think about it. It was close, that close to going over.
I don't buy the rigged thing. There's too many people. However, if there's any rigging going on, it is what was done in the NBA. Do you remember what was done? Remember the ref got nailed?
Donaghy, yeah.
That was, 10, 15 years ago?
Maybe even more than that.
So, but he explained how he did it. And it wasn't like throwing. He as a referee, he couldn't throw a game, but you call these, nitpick fouls. You just impede. You throw. You can change the rhythm of a game. I mean, that's what he was doing. And can that be done today in the NFL? It absolutely could be done.
Well, that's true.
But not at the level of somebody coming out and missing 4 extra points.
Correct. That guy probably kicked away his career.
His career is done. He's probably he couldn't sleep last night. Unless he's got maybe he's sleeping on a mattress filled with $30 million. But I just don't see it.
Yeah, the idea that he's trying to rip off people out there making $25, $50, or $100 bets at the stake of his own career. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah,
I just think it's ridiculous. By the way, you're absolutely right. That scandal, the story broke in 2007, which was 15, 16 years ago.
And that was all just changing the flow and the momentum of the game.
Turning your head on fouls or making up fouls. Yeah.
Now, during this past weekend, I saw some penalties that were just not that could have changed the flow of a game. And they weren't even close. They weren't even penalties. So is that going on? I don't know. And it is weird, though, when you think about it, that we're talking about gambling during games and every day. When these, in Sports Report, now a part of the Sports Report is giving out the line because gambling has become legal. Marijuana is legal.
Yeah.
And Amtrak is giving 2-for-1 tickets. It's just the craziest thing in the world. I do have a funny story about Amtrak. By the way, Syracuse lost last night. Close game, though, 82-78 to Miami. I don't know, 7 years ago, I took my wife for Valentine's Day, and I tried to come up with something nice. And we booked an Amtrak from Utica to Albany. We spent the night in Albany, went to dinner at a restaurant she's always wanted to go to, and then we took the train back.
Oh, that was very
nice.
And
we got a sleeper car. So never done this before. Had no idea what it was like, and it was cool. And we get to about, Amsterdam, and my wife is like, I think I'm going to take a nap. Can you put the bunk down? I'm like, sure I can. So I'm pulling the bunk down, and I get it down, and, I think I get it down. I've not locked it in place, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And my wife gets up there, and she's laying down. All of a sudden, what do they call on a train? Your steward, or what is he called?
I think that word's been banned long ago, Bill.
Anyway.
You better brush up on your comment.
He came up to the bellhop. I don't know what they call him.
I'm just teasing. I don't know what
train.
they are.
I don't know what they call them on the train. Anyway, he came in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He yelled at us. I'm like, well, she's got fibromyalgia. She likes to take a nap every once in a while. You could kill her. Get down. Apparently it wasn't locked in. I had no idea. And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's all her. She says she's got to do this crap. I'm just sitting here on my computer. And he's like, I put the bunk down. I have to lock it in place. You have to call me, and we're already to Schenectady. What are you? You're going to be fine.
Oh, my God.
Now I'm going to have to clean this whole thing up when you're done. And he walked out. I didn't know that you're not supposed to do that. So what I'm saying is if you do this on the train, get the rules before you start playing with things.
Yes. And make sure
you can get yelled at.
And make sure you address him by the proper title. Don't call him
That's
steward,
right.
the bellhop.
Come here, bellhop. Yeah, don't do that. Can I get a bellhop over here, please? Don't do that.
You get drinks. Ding, ding. You got a drink over there?
Right. And there's a club car where you can get.
That's cool.
It was a very romantic. Other than the scolding, it was a very romantic trip. I believe I scored some points that day, except for the part where I was like, it's her fault. She's the one that did it. Fibromyalgia. Got a break. Coming in, Phil Terrasano is somebody who has known law enforcement his entire career. He knows the importance, with an upcoming mayoral election here, he knows the importance of a public safety commissioner. We'll talk about that. He, of course, was one.
I thought, yeah, right.
And when we're talking about the policing that he's done through his career and what police officers are facing here in 2023, it is a different world. And I'd love to get his perspective on all of this coming right up. And we will, as a matter of fact. He's coming in studio. It's 8:17 at WIBX.
Are your brakes noisy? Do they vibrate? Is the brake pedal soft? Is your ABS light on? Don't take chances with your brakes. In the Utica area, locally owned Oriskany Garage is going to be your best choice. Quality parts installed by trained and experienced technicians. No tricky upsells, just the work that your car needs done right. All backed by a great no-hassle warranty. Oriskany Garage on Champlain Avenue near Utica College or online at ogtire.com.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund ×2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
If you're like most Americans, you can see things are out of control. Global problems have local consequences, too many of them. And if the next news headline spins us into chaos, you'd better be ready. Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Today's the day to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. As we all know, calories equals energy equals survival. And as you'd expect from a true preparedness company, Our food kits are in stock and ship quickly. Those who know what's coming are preparing today. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
For your financial advice to be useful, it needs to be tailored to how you live your life. I'm Jim McGuire, branch manager of Baird's Utica office. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning for all areas of your life: retirement, family, and estate plans, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate our advice with your tax and legal advisors, so you can be confident all your plans are working together for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdUtica.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I'm looking at the listing at Fat Cats Comedy Club, the lineup. This weekend, by the way, Phil Selman is in town, funny comedian, and we'll hear from him. There's a big Valentine's show that's coming up. Karen Rontowski is doing what is known as psychic comedy. She also has these psychic abilities. That is the 10th and 11th. You can check it out at fatcatscomedyclub.com.
I busted Karen's chops a little bit when she was in studio, but I was just having fun with her. She's hilarious.
She is a funny comic.
Yeah, she is a top shelf entertainment. She really is.
And Jimmy Fallon will be coming to town. Of course, Jimmy is on WIBX and radio stations across the country Monday through Friday at noon, from noon till 3. He'll be in our studio on the 17th during the morning, and then doing his show, Davey, from noon until 3 around the country from this legendary radio studio. Pretty excited about it.
Yes, I am.
And then he'll be doing shows all weekend long at Fat Cats Comedy Club, sponsored by WIBX. Now, to give you an idea, the Friday 7 p.m. show is sold out. The Friday 9:15 show, there are still seats available, but only a few. Saturday, the 7 p.m. show is sold out, and Saturday's 9:15 show is sold out. So there's just a little bit of room left to get in and get your tickets. Go to fatcatscomedyclub.com. Phil Torresano, you'll be at one of those shows. Pull that mic nice and close.
The Saturday show.
And you're a big Jimmy fan.
Yeah. I met him a couple times with you.
So could you tilt that right up to you? Yeah, there we go. So you literally have to be like aimed right at it and on it, and all that. You are, when you come into studio, and when Jimmy comes in studio, you're going to come in and surprise him.
Yeah. Last time he was here, I have a leather business and make belts, and been doing it for 48 years. I started it because on a raid when I was a young cop, my holster broke the belt I bought at the Army Navy store. So
okay.
And I've been doing this for a long time. I travel to gun shows and do mail order. But I seen Jimmy's boots. He says, "I'm going to make you a white snakeskin belt." He says he's a 36. I'd have to see it to believe it. Okay.
So this is funny because Phil is saying, you got to get me Jimmy's waist size. I'm making him a belt to match those white leather boots that he has. So I'm like, all right, how do I go about this? I got to call up Jimmy Fallon and get his waist size. So I did, and what did
he say? He says he's 36. I says his arms are 36.
So what's going to happen is Phil doesn't trust him. So you're going to come in the morning that he's in studio.
Measure him and custom cut it like I do with the shows right
He's going to custom cut it right here in the studio and present him with his new belt.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not just any leather belt, is it?
No. We don't need to do commercial on the belts.
Well, let's do a little something. What kind of
every kind of leather there is, I make
All
it
right.
out of. I have people that had them 20, 25, 30 years. Guys that go to the basic schools got my belts. But what gets me mad, they still fit them. They didn't gain any weight
Yeah,
after
doesn't
20
that
years.
burn you up?
Yeah.
God.
He's got
is
grass-fed leather. He's got corn-fed leather. He's
Well, no, I think this might be a snake skin.
Yeah, it's snakeskin.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's because that's what his boots are.
That's what it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when all the snakes left Ireland, they come to the United States, became lawyers. So I get when they shed their skin, I go around picking them up.
I see that. All right, perfect. Now we know where it all comes from.
That's great.
He'll be
You
on
could
stage.
open.
He'll be on stage with Jimmy on Friday night, Saturday night. Okay, let's talk about, if we could, just a little bit, Phil, the importance of a public safety commissioner. And I know you know where I'm going, and then I'll get your opinion on Rob Palmieri. And by the way, to be fair and full disclosure, I think you guys are related.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We've been. My mother and his mother were first or second cousins.
Okay,
and,
all right.
We went through high school together, and we're both hardheads. We argue since we're eight years old.
Fair enough. You think he's done a good job?
Excellent job.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
But you also do agree, though, that having a public safety commissioner going
You
forward,
definitely need one.
Yeah.
You have to have a buffer. okay?
a buffer, and that's important.
And basically, the public safety commissioner. Let me explain something to everybody. I left the department, and I was called by a certain party to talk to Tim Julian because he was having problems with the council. They wanted to get rid of Pileman and everything. They asked me if I wanted to be commissioner. Well, I was on the job 35 years, and they listed me as the top cop. You're not a cop. You're a civilian employee. You have no arrests.
Right,
You can't
right.
make arrests. You can't get involved in investigations. People don't realize that. I was probably the commissioner 3 or 4 weeks, and we lost one of our officers. He was assassinated, okay?
I remember
now,
that.
it's very
Terrible.
very tough not to get involved.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I had a Rolodex that I had for many years. I gave it to the guys that were doing it, but there wasn't an agency that denied us help.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we got the guy eventually, and
Yeah.
they did a good job. But you have to stay out of the. You could.
But part of the a good public safety commissioner is knowing the protocol, knowing what you should do, what you shouldn't do, where you're okay and where you're stepping over the boundaries.
The most important thing is that these young men and of the fire and police department go home to their
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they have to be careful.
And in this case, the officer is just sitting in his car.
He got assassinated.
Yeah, yeah. It's terrible.
Terrible.
Talk about what police officers, law enforcement throughout this area and throughout the country are facing today, and how different it is today.
I'm so proud of the Utica Police Department, and the Sheriff's Department helps them, and we got a great chief, Williams. He's got a great base there. He's got a deputy chief that's great, captains that are great. He gets along good with the sheriff, and we just got Ron Fontaine back in New Hartford, which he left as a lieutenant. And you couldn't get anything better than that. They got a good. I just hope they all stay together. They've been working together for 20 years, and they know how to take care of things. We have guys on the street in Utica. You hear about a shooting, somebody's killed. It's solved in a day or two. And you know what? That's hard because nobody wants to squeal on anybody.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about when you were growing up? I've made this point before, and it just blows my mind. For instance, we've got this situation in Syracuse yesterday. An 11-year-old girl.
Terrible story.
Somebody in a vehicle was apparently shooting at a 19-year-old man. This 11-year-old girl gets hit by a
He
straight
got
bullet.
wounded, and he's living. She's dead.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Horrible.
When people talk about the streets can't talk and don't be a rat. When I grew up, and I'm wondering what it was like when you grew up, and I get it, you have a different perspective as a police officer. If you and I rob a bank and I get caught, and they say, who was your partner? And I tell them it was Phil Torresano, then I'm a rat. I rat it out, right?
Yes.
But if I live in a community and innocent people are getting shot, and I call the police and say, I know who did it, that's not a rat. I'm helping out victims in my community. There's a difference, isn't there?
There's a difference. But guess what?
This isn't a new concept, let's be honest.
Organized crime in the 80s.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of tough guys, that weren't stand-up. There were some really stand-up guys that did some serious time, but there were some guys that, they're not as stand-up as you think they are. They tell everybody that. They do their 2 years, and they tell you they were in 10 and who they were in with and this guy and that guy. They weren't even in the same jail, okay? But there are a lot of guys that are stand-up, and it is tough. It's a tough job.
When you say they're stand-up, they stayed quiet.
They stay quiet, and they'll do their time.
Henry Hill is a great example of one who wasn't a stand-up guy.
He was a fall-down drunk.
And then he just became a cartoon character, and they didn't care about him anymore.
Speaking of that crew, nobody went to jail for the Lufthansa heist. All the murders and everything.
I
I
know.
heard you talking about, you know what they went to jail for, federal time? The point shaving scam. Sports.
Right.
Federal. That's all they could get them on. They could get them on the murders. They couldn't get them for that. They went for the point shaving.
Yeah. And that heist, I mean, when you look at, and that's a part of Goodfellas, and then there's the movie about it and all. Yeah. That was like the biggest heist of all time at the time.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Yep.
And the whole thing was, don't go out and buy a Cadillac. Don't go out and throw the money around. And what did they do? They all threw the money around.
It's true.
Yeah.
They want to brag about it. Just couple suits, nothing. But.
Yeah. Interesting. And what are the stories of Utica being the Sin City? The how much of the drama that's built up about Utica is true?
There were a few made men in Utica, and it was the 40s and 50s. There was a lot going on here, a lot of gambling and everything, but there was nobody knocking any old ladies down and taking their purses either.
That's the difference,
okay?
right? Yeah.
Or breaking into your house. You didn't lock your house back then. Okay?
Right.
So, they got the name by one writer who said it was Sin City, okay? And the guys they say that were involved in organized crime were not involved in organized crime.
Right.
They were businessmen, but there were a lot of guys that were involved in that, and there was a lot of bad guys.
You see the story just recently where they nailed a big mob kingpin in Italy.
Yeah, he killed judges.
Children. I mean, that's the difference. The mob changed in Italy and in Sicily.
Prosecutors blew up them with their family.
It was and it used to be families and that sort of thing were off limits, but it wasn't anymore. And really the society has turned on organized crime in Italy.
Sicily's the most invaded country ever. So you don't know what nationality they really are.
Right.
They're Sicilian. There could be half this, half that. It was the most invaded country ever.
Yeah. Wow. But what kids, you call them kids today, police officers today, young police officers today, what they go through, what they're facing when they go out every day is...
What's even harder, though, for a guy like Mark Williams, who seen the good times.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Fontaine, who's seen the good times. Sheriff Maceo, seen the good times. And other guys who've seen the good times. When you lock the guy up, you got satisfaction. And maybe it was on 4 to 12 and you stopped and had one with your friends and talked about we got him and this and that. Yeah. And he wasn't leaving the station before your paperwork was done and there was bail put on him.
Right.
They have to see that now. And it's very tough. Let's hope we can keep these leaders we got around here because they're doing a great job.
And it's hard right now. It's hard to be in law enforcement.
It is. It's very, very tough. What they need to put more money into the important things, okay? Utica's got everything you could want. I have 2 stepchildren that I brought up from when they were teenagers. They got grandkids. They come to Utica to go to our zoo. They can't wait for the children's center to open. The new center next to the Odd, the hockey, this. They don't have that in Albany. We have everything here. The hotels are booked in Utica for the next 3-4 months.
It's unbelievable. It is. Yeah.
And you know what? If it's not safe, which I don't think is fair, what just came out from the FBI, we were the 10th worst city. And you ever been down to Middletown, New York? How come that ain't on the list?
Yeah.
And these other people.
Even, I got to say, Schenectady's rough.
Schenectady is on the list.
Yeah, it is.
Schenectady's on the list. And what it is it's very tough for these guys. These guys are getting out in 20 years. But these guys, we had guys in the homicide unit. They were solving homicides left and right. They just left.
Yeah, we're speaking with Phil Torresano. He was, what year were you the
2007 to 2008
public safety commissioner?
Yeah.
And in law enforcement and a kingpin in the belt making industry.
So let me ask you this: the role of public safety commissioner, is it more valuable for the mayor to have you to speak to the chief and the fire chief and the police chief, or the other way around, to tell them what they need?
We got so much going on in the city right now, and I could see it getting even busier, okay? He doesn't have the time for that, nor does he have the expertise that a police officer would have. He does a good job. He's managed both, but you need to be able to get on the phone, chief, and be able to give an answer, okay? While he's in a meeting or everything, and he's been wonderful with the police department and the fire department. Speaking of the fire department, we've got 95 trained paramedics there, okay?
Yeah, that's
now,
big.
If there's a disaster, that's more than the 3-county area. That, you know, if there's a disaster, we have a firehouse at the square that does 11,000 calls a year. It's one of the busiest in the country, you know, and they're run by some young chief, a young assistant chief, some captains and deputy chiefs that I think are going to be around for a while and everything, you know, and they also, everybody needs a boss, okay? And if you find a chief that everybody likes, it's a chief that's not doing his job.
You know what you don't see is, I remember going to a show, the former Utica police chief, legendary
Benny Rotundo?
Yeah. So I'm going to a show at the Stanley. And you had to be on the force in some capacity during all of this.
Sure.
But, you know, there in the front of the Stanley, there were cones.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, come on, right in here. And they moved the cones. And all of a sudden, this really nice, I'll call it a Cadillac, pulls up. And out comes Benny Rotundo and his wife. And that was their parking
Limping
place.
like he just got off a horse.
It was like, wow, this is Utica.
They brought a commissioner back twice to try to get rid of him. Okay?
Yeah.
And you know, I myself had five or six different commissioners. Only 2 chiefs though. I had Benny and Pileman. And Pileman was a very fair and straight-laced guy.
Yeah.
But
he was a trooper.
Yes, he was a deputy inspector. You know, and he came here. I mean, we had some guys that had great credentials to be a chief. They brought him in, and I tried to explain to him, you just came like out of a marriage with with a 16-year-old kid and a 15-year-old daughter, and now you're coming to try to understand how this 16-year-old kid and this 15-year-old daughter to Utica Police Station, you're not going to change it overnight.
I see where your analogy.
You're not going to change it overnight.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be under Benny, then be under a superintendent, which they're very paper orientated. You have to turn your reports in every day, and you get, you know, you're not going to change it. You're not going to change it. And that's why I hope all these guys stay, because they got a good group of guys.
They do, yeah.
They're doing
a
lot in this area, okay? And
it's a different, just taking a look at police chief, fire chief in Utica. These are 2 guys who are not in your face, who are not cocky, who are not, these are 2 of the nicest gentlemen I think you'll ever meet.
When I was commissioner, I started a program around the schools. We had a car around the schools. I put Deputy Chief Noonan in charge of it. He was a sergeant.
Another great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah,
There was a report. He called me every day. There was a report on my desk. Very capable guy. And I believe Mark Williams was a lieutenant or a captain. I made him my information officer. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to be out, and he's not the kind of guy. But when he talks, he talks. He don't give you no bull. You know.
I completely. He's not calling us to get on the radio. I'll tell you that.
I talk to him all the time, and I've talked to him. He's been more than gracious with me. It's not like he's, you know, it's just tough. Years ago, I hate to even say this, but 25 years ago, if somebody was bothering your daughter and a police officer went and say, "Why don't you leave them alone? I know the family or anything," right? Today they'd lock the cop up for kidnapping or something, something like that. You know, seriously, it's crazy. I mean, or why is he there? And they make complaints that you know, what needs to be done also too is they should have, and I had a great one, Jerry Briggs, who passed away. They should have an investigator in the Corporation Counsel's office. when some of these complaints come in, even a slip and fall, they should be investigated.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because they put them off, and then they end up paying them.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And that falls under the commissioner. The commissioner's like, the commissioner's even in charge of the dog warden. You know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Any employee deals with anything like that, and you have to have a good rapport. I went from running. I was in several multi-jurisdictional task forces.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them I commanded. One I did for 6 years. When you have to answer to six bosses, I had 6 chiefs of police that I had to answer to, and police. But they were good with me.
Yeah,
They were wonderful with me. I'm a little standoffish sometimes. I knew my job, and they knew it. But the most important thing was those guys go home.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
lost a guy. Okay,
That's big.
That's the most important thing. I never had to go tell somebody's wife they got killed, except
Tommy Lindsay.
When I was commissioner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will you come back and do this again? I'm intrigued by everything
I'd like
you have
to
to
get
say.
into search warrants someday and
All
tell
right.
you what happened in this country with search
All
warrants.
right, and we'll see you on the 17th when Jimmy comes to town.
Oh, definitely.
And we're going to fit him right in studio.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay.
Phil Torresano, stay right there for a second. Thank you. We'll break. Coming up, a lot of talk about Stewart's in South Utica. Should there be a Stewart's there? Should there not? We have a neighbor there that wants to come forward and give us the scoop. And we'll do that coming up next, 8:42 at WIBX.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest-rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Attention small business owners, did you know that 66% of new businesses fail within the first year? Don't let your business become a statistic. Go Anesio. Build, protect, and grow your small business with Anesio Technology Solutions. Anesio is dedicated to helping our Central New York community thrive by providing affordable, secure, and scalable technology solutions exclusively for startups and small businesses. Find out everything we have to offer at goanesio.com. GOINIZIO.com.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools ready to learn, destined to lead.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares. The Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
I'll second guess dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Hey, let's talk about New York Sash, and we love their windows. In fact, in the spring, they did half of our house. They'll do the second half coming up this spring. And what a difference it's been in our home in terms of the heating bill. It has made a significant difference. And also in the summertime, the cooling bill as well. And the New York Sash people that come through our door, you can trust them. It makes all the difference in the world. And this year, 2023, is the year of giveaways at New York Sash. Every month, New York Sash will be giving away a prize in their showroom. And right now, you can enter to win a 6-month membership to the Mill Family Fitness Center in New York Mills. New York Sash wants to help someone start the year off right. If you're looking to improve your well-being, stop in to New York Sash to enter to win the January showroom giveaway, a 6-month fitness membership. It's valued at over $200. While you're there, you can improve your home as well with energy-efficient windows and doors, and even take advantage of the New York Sash Buy 2, Get 1 free sale, which is going on right now and going on now for a limited time. No purchase necessary. Just stop into the showroom and enter to win from New York Sash on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, let's get the names correct here if we can.
Yes, this is it's Paul and Ellen Hage, correct?
Hage.
There we go.
Right.
It's Elaine.
Elaine. Okay. Jeff is not one for names.
It's okay.
I'm struggling this
guy.
morning.
He is not a name guy.
Can I just say also for those listening, not observing on YouTube, we have a sign here that kind of lays out the neighborhood we're going to be talking about. So if you can, hop on YouTube and check it out. Just search Keeler live stream, and you can see what we're looking at in the studio here.
Okay, who wants to start here? Jeff and Eileen, right? Elaine. We'll get
It's
it right.
Paul and Elaine.
Okay,
You
here
said
we
Jeff
go.
and Elaine.
I did. I'm joking. All right.
That's all right, Bob. No problem.
Here we go.
Okay, well, good morning.
Good
Thank you
morning.
for having us on.
Okay, Elaine, good morning.
Okay, and this is about the Raspberry Stewart's event that's happening in South Utica in residential neighborhood. They want to put a gas station, a sizable gas station, a convenience store. And we brought that only because it's a visual. You can see where the Raspberries is. It's that big red square. And then if you look right there, there's a little white line, and those are all backyards and houses.
Okay.
And there's Woodlawn Avenue West, and there's more houses. And
Now, we had mentioned to you, we do not know if
Right.
you're for this or against it.
Okay.
My guess is, I guess at this point, that you're against the Stewarts coming into that neighborhood.
Okay, I would. I have a little something just to say that.
Okay.
We want everyone to know.
All right.
First of all, we are not political. We are apolitical.
All right.
Okay. We always vote for the best person, and we always pick the best thing. We just think there's a better purpose for that building. Could be a better
Okay.
place. It's not a good idea to have a gas station next to a residential area. I don't know where you live, Bill.
I live in New Hartford.
Okay,
right
so
now,
if somebody was going to put one up between, 1, 2, 3 blocks away,
Right.
a large one, you've seen any gas station at night lit up.
Sure.
It's bright. They've got to have brightness to deter crime and
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
So nobody wants that in their backyard. We're not against progress or growth. People say, oh, you just don't want anything. No, that is so not true. We just want the right thing. I'm going to quote the master plan of Utica for neighborhoods growth, and they have a saying. It's called SMART growth strategies. So there could be something better. I mean, we just don't want them to be hasty.
Yeah,
That's what
okay.
we want.
All
We
right.
want the planning board. We have to talk to them on Thursday night, 4:30 at City Hall. That's January 19th, and we.
Are you asking for the public to come out to that? I'm assuming.
We would love the public to come and support. It may be the last time we're going to talk to anybody.
Okay.
To listen to what's going on, and we rely on the planning board. They're all great people to listen to us and address the questions that the neighbors. We're representing all of South Utica, so that's Woodlawn all the way to New Hartford line.
Okay, all right.
And so citizens of Utica we're called. We understand about scenic, historic, mixed use. It was passed, unfortunately. Therefore, they were allowed to do that. But there are better choices, and Paul's going to talk more about the points that we would like to have everybody hear and discuss and talk about it.
Okay, Paul. Obviously, I will have Elaine ask that you were going to ask me a question, and you might as well ask.
Okay. All right. So you live in New Hartford, you said. But if somebody was going to put a gas station like this one, regardless of who it is,
Yeah.
2 or 3 houses away from you, would you, if you were going to say, I don't want it, does that mean you're against progress? No. You just want the best thing because when you purchased your house, you didn't fathom or think
Right,
there ever
right.
would be a gas station of that.
And it's interesting because there are a lot of people with opinions right now
Yes.
who do not live in the neighborhood.
Right, and I always say to them,
and we're two
We're
of
part
those
of that
people.
as well,
Yes,
yep.
Yeah, and it's just you don't realize it until everybody says until it's your backyard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not like a lot of times people don't want to have a group home or they don't want to have this there or that there. Oh no, that's not it. There's lighting, there's vapors, there's noise. The traffic's going to be so big and large. It's going to change things.
Changes your neighborhood.
It is going to change the
Okay,
neighborhood.
all right.
And that's what we don't want. And that's the
Okay.
reason why we're
All right. And Paul.
Yes. So where Raspberries is in South Utica on Genesee Street, they're looking to tear that down. It was a beautiful restaurant. And also the 2-family house right next door on the corner of Genesee Street and Woodlawn West. Plus there's an additional 1-family right next door to that, which is city-owned. So we're hoping they might not, they're not going to take 3 of the buildings down, even though they haven't talked about that 1-family. It's certainly in the making, in the game. No houses have been torn down in Utica. If you go from where the Parkway is, where McDonald's is, all the way to New Hartford, those are all refurbished homes that are professional buildings, realtors,
Right.
and attorneys and the like. Last month, Scenic and Historic, they denied tearing down the two-family, which we applaud. And we just want people to have an open mind, and we don't want someone to say, I made up my mind, don't confuse me with the facts.
Right.
We want them to hear all these facts. This would be the 4th gas station in a half a mile, one being right directly across the street, the Speedway there. Gas stations are not sustainable by 2035. Most states are banning the sale of new gas vehicles, and New York is one of them. So it's going in that direction. Gas stations emit cancer-causing benzene fumes according to the World Health Organization, WHO, adverse effects include cancer, anemia, low birth weight, etc. The recommended distance for homes is 500 feet and 1,000 feet for daycares per Environmental Protection, EPA. There are several homes within the 500-foot radius, including that daycare center, which is kind of kitty corner.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that your guest right here, the policeman that was here, Phil Torsani, he would also agree that the police department has reported over 463 incident reports in just the last 2 years at Stewart's in the 2 Utica locations, one on Court Street, the other on Culver Ave. And this includes disorderly conduct, disorderly group, harassment, persons refusing to leave, trespass, larceny, criminal warrant arrest, criminal mischief. I feel sorry for the police department. I really do, for them to attend that. And I'm sure if he was here, he wouldn't be happy that this is going on.
Can I ask you? Would you would you guys be okay if they were to build a Stewart's there on the existing property because there was already a business there?
Well, I think that would be more doable if they just kept it right there and kept with the
as opposed to the larger footprint.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are very, if you go by any of the Stewart's, they're very well lit with LED lights. The top of the sign right on the building is 16 feet. So if you look there, 16 feet high, if it's going to be facing Genesee Street without that house there, at night when you're going south towards New Hartford, it's going to be like Broadway right there.
Right.
And also, if it's facing Woodlawn, the building, it's going to be right in your face. There's nothing that's going to, there's no fence that's going to stop 16 feet high in your bedroom, plus the noise of all the trucks that are going in there, the gas, the diesel.
Let me just ask you, the situation that Bill just outlined was basically this house stays, right? And you said you would be more open to that. However, it doesn't negate the health concerns that you outlined.
That's right. It's always going to be there.
So you are against it. You would be some degree less against it if they use the current footprint.
Yes.
But you're never going to be for it.
No, we're never going to be happy with it. We're not happy with the police incident report. I would beg Stewart's to please not that location. And just like they have gas apps showing where the cheap gas is, follow that. If it's a half mile away, quarter mile away from this location, fine. People will go there. Go to North Utica maybe. And
I would say this, though. That's a fair point, but that's not Stewart's concern. Stewart's doesn't say, you know what, we're not going to do gas. Let the next guy make the sale. I can understand from a business standpoint, they're not going to say, it's not suitable for them to say, go to Fast Track or go to Cliff's, as opposed to coming to their store.
Oh, and
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. But
for instance, if there was a restaurant there, he wouldn't say, you know what, there's a McDonald's down the road. We don't need a restaurant here. You can just go down the road to McDonald's.
No, I know. We are we're not against Stewart's, besides that police report. But according to Zillow, another factor is, too, that the properties adjacent to that will significantly be declined because of that. Your assessment, your sale price is going to be less. There's more traffic added in congestion at this location. It's tough to take a right on Genesee Street, let alone going across and taking a left.
Paul and Elaine are residents over there in that neighborhood. One more time, if you could. Anything else significant that you want to get across?
I think, Utica-based master plan clearly defines the vision of the smart growth in the Utica area, and that's being ignored. There also has been over 500 people that have signed a petition against this, and we would like the priority of the South Utica be strongly considered over the profits of a company.
All
And
right.
it's not all about the ice cream.
Understood. Or I don't know. Those milkshakes are good. They're,
I know. And
they're
we
very
like,
good.
I like the
I know you do. A nice, Elaine, if you could, close to the microphone.
Yeah. Okay, and then I just wanted to follow up with that. If anybody listening to this, if this resonates with anything that you would like to know more about or learn more about, or just say, I was at that meeting, if what you wanted to happen doesn't happen, because people always complain after the fact, and I am not one to do this, and I don't like being in the public, but I felt if I didn't come forward and I didn't say something, it would haunt me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's why I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to do this.
And to be fair, I must say that when you buy a home and then something moves in and it lowers the value of your property or changes the entire, really it would change your property.
Yeah, it would change the
I mean, that would be significant for anyone.
And I think, too, Bill, I think 2 years ago, the Common Council of Utica passed a 160-page document that allowed the mixed use, which is unfortunate. I think if they had a chance to revote, they would turn it down or be, scrutinized a little bit more than they have.
Okay.
So that's her.
All right. And again, the meeting is that you want everybody
This
to come
Thursday,
to is
yep.
Thursday.
Thursday, the 19th, 4:30, City Hall.
City Hall. All right.
Just come. It's a
don't
public
have to
meeting. You
speak,
just sit
just
and
be
listen.
there, show your
If you
support.
feel motivated to get up, you can.
Okay. All right.
It's not necessary.
Fair enough.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good luck.
And nice job on this. It looks great.
It
I
is.
like that
I want to
side.
get a picture of that. And any other of the pamphlets or anything you want us to take away,
Sure.
I'd like to do that as
Okay,
well.
thank
So,
you.
okay, guys, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. We'll see what comes of all of this on Thursday night. All right, I got a break. We're back here tomorrow morning. Enjoy your day. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 9 o'clock.
About my lower back pain and how kneeling in church on Sunday was becoming nearly unbearable. Sebastian Gorka here. I've also told you about how Relief Factor has helped almost eliminate my pain. Now, let me tell you what Robert in California says about his experience with Relief Factor. Robert writes, I didn't think Relief Factor was working until I ran out mid-month. After about 3 days, the pain was back to where it started. It was a great test for me to see how much Relief Factor really works. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing and living the life you love. Your first step to becoming pain-free from aches and pains from daily living could be just to order the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out about this offer. That's relieffactor.com. or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
At Riskin Garage, we'd like to thank our customers for voting us the best of the best destination for tires in the Utica area. Give your locally owned business an opportunity to meet or beat tire prices from the internet tire retailers or chain stores. For brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, or any of your auto repair needs, come and experience the best of the best service at a Riskin Garage down the street from Utica College or online at ogtire.com. Come on, say it with me. Make the noise. ogtire.com.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Mohawk Valley FCU wants to help you save money right now. They're extending their swap and drop auto loan promotion through the end of January 2023. Bring your car loan to Mohawk Valley FCU and they'll drop your rate up to 2% off your current rate for the remainder of the loan. That's up to 2% off your auto loan with locations on River Road in Marcy, in the state office building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you will receive the best service no matter where you are. Member focused, member driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.